Hey guys, Tales of Turam here. We're back with the Pathfinder game. I'm here today with, let's see, Soup,
Hello.
CJ,
Hello.
Shadowy,
Hello.
and V.
What's up?
So, Ruby and Phoenix said they were going to be able to make it today. Ruby has not answered any of my requests. Phoenix has something to do with school going on, so he will not be making it today. So, those two will not be here. Who else is in the game that's not here? I don't remember. I don't remember if there's another person or if I'm just being stupid.
I think that there's another person here that I can think
Mm.
of. Contradictions on in this game.
Okay. So those are the people we're playing with today. We have one new character being introduced, or two. Technically two, because Soup was introduced in a side session, but he'll be introduced to the main party. And Shadowy, we already introduced your character, right? We
Yes.
introduced you, and then we introduced you in the side session fully. Okay. So, that's who we're playing with today. Um, if you haven't seen the side session, I don't know if I've uploaded it or not. I don't know if it got corrupted or deleted because I have yet to upload it as of making this video. But yeah. Anyways, so to begin, we're gonna go with a small introduction, having what happened last time as part of it. So last time was 4 weeks ago about because my other campaign didn't want to play, then didn't want to play, then didn't want to play when I made time for them. So I kind of have to try and remember what happened last time versus the side session. So last time, the party had awoken, I believe it was, to the day of the festival, the beginning of the festival. Having gone downstairs, deciding to hang out for a little bit to decide what they're going to do and figure out their next move, which they were granted a direction if they wanted to take it, finding a man named the Puppeteer by Inquisitor Valis of the church, the Cathedral of Celis, who had thanked them for helping save the Pope, High Priestess of the Moon. You're not sure. However, after being given the information of the puppeteer and told you have a few days before we start looking into this guy again, the party was greeted by a Mr. Vrock again, the large autonomous doctor. Vrock started to go haywire, and when he did, a bit of lightning with rainbowish color struck Anchor, who had
All
been
because I
reintroduced to
told
him.
him I had a wife.
Yes, as soon as he told him he had a wife. As this lightning hits, some very weird scenes went through Anchor's head as well. And Anchor started to spark with this strange lightning off of him as well. It seemed to be growing these bismuth crystals all across his body to an extent. As he continued to have this happen, the group being trapped in the bar of the Mage's Respites while this is happening took cover and eventually managed to, I believe, subdue he managed to subdue the overcharge or whatever it is of this strange magical or non-magical energy, due to the help of Vrock once again, managing to take the core of Anchor and, how should I say, trap it in a ball of his armor, infused with magic. Um, After doing so, the scene went dark and everyone watched as a portal opened. And everyone besides a few individuals, I think Shane was one of the only ones to manage to resist the ability. Shane managed to resist falling over like his friends due to a mass paralytic kind of spell being cast by an unknown mage who stepped out of the portal. This mage, who I don't remember if he gave his name or if I just told you out of character.
I think I have it, or I sent it to you in notes a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
given who he's
I have his name.
related
I
to.
just need to know, did I tell you in character?
Yeah, Alva Metal Singer.
No, did I tell your characters in character is what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's what I said. Alva Metal Singer.
Wasn't it Alma?
Sorry I'm late. I was in the
He
shower.
definitely would not have given you his last name. He would only given you
Oh.
his first name.
Oh, Oliver,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
His first name.
So does anybody else have that written down on your character sheets? Or
No.
is what I'm asking.
Well, the thing is, when he left, we also forgot who he was because of another spell he cast.
Yes.
I probably should keep that in mind.
Actually,
Alvan.
no, the only two that would remember, boasting about how he was going to take the magical anomaly that was just created and taking it, the man decided to almost teleport out before the spider body of Tatriel jumped upon him, disarming and thieving the ball from his hand. A small confrontation was had, and he was about ready to kill you before the ball was handed back. As he took it, he mentioned his name, Alva, and as he departed, most of you forgot his names as well, those that were paralyzed. Everyone forgot about the entire thing that just happened. As the guards stormed into the building, Alva had disappeared with both Anchor and his core, as well as Vrock, who had decided to go along with him. Trying to remind your friends about Alva's appearance caused brain damage, it seemed, so you had decided to hold off for a bit. After that, the party decided to leave the establishment after the chaos, and seeing a strange individual writing notes about a parade float that was passing, including the royal family, who then dashed off into an alleyway, decided to give chase. Giving chase, the man managed to, after noticing them, due to a failed stealth check, managed to elude them. Well, not for long, as he managed to escape up to the roofs wherein, what the fuck is her name? Invert gave chase while the rest of the group dealt with a strange, puppeted, spider-like humanoid creature that gave chase to them in the alleyway as they followed along below the rooftop. Eventually knocking the man to the ground, seemingly almost breaking his neck, the man shot at Ruby, who jumped down after him, destroying her right eye socket in the process with the bullet. After this, the party managed to catch up, and they managed to, should I say, stabilize the both of them to an extent, before the man who was about to answer their questions had this strange wire wrap around his neck and pull him and Tatriel into an alleyway, before the rest of the party watched them disappear. Well, didn't watch them disappear, but noticed them disappear. As the party ran in, they were gone. And as Ruby's character remained in the alleyway, the new maid's friend who had appeared to help handed her a small stone for luck, and mentioned he needed to return to his studies, and that he hoped you would find luck in your searches. As he returned to his studies, we went over some stuff with him, and this starts to lead us into the side session, which then involved Ruby, the new character, and Shadowy's new character. So that's a whole different thing. I'll get into that whenever. But that's the entire thing. That was like 6 minutes long of what happened last time, to my best knowledge of what I remember. So I apologize if I missed anything. It's been 4 weeks.
The only thing that you missed is that I was shopping, or my character was shopping since I had to go.
Sure. Anyways, so let me go ahead and get some nice music started here. You know how it gotta be.
Gotta have that atmosphere.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I was in the shower.
Cool. You're 40 minutes late.
It's gotta be a good ass shower then.
Yeah, I agree.
I can swear now because the 1 minute has elapsed, right?
It's 9 minutes into the session.
Okay.
So, I don't know how bad this sounds on the recording, so everyone quiet for a second.
At the same time.
Okay, so it's not that loud. Let me turn it up a little bit more. There we go. So, let me turn off my light behind me, actually, because this will give me some more atmosphere here in my room. Yeah, we do this over Discord, so we're not in the same room, guys. You couldn't tell already. Anyway, so we reverse time a little bit to the early morning hours of this day. As the small mists and dews dot the landscape, as the sky, which was once starting to clear, reverses back to its small, cloud-filled sky with a little bit of downpour in these last months. Which is strange because during winter, around Turam, it does not, well, on Turam, it does not snow due to its elevation in the clouds. There's more of a mist and a small bit of rain that hits the city. As this happens, we see the aurora borealis beginning to fade from the sky to an extent, like it normally does. However, still visible in the sky.
Sorry.
As we still see it in the sky, the greens and blues seem to flow along with the oranges and yellows of the sun beginning to rise in the distance over the floating city as we hear the small bits of cling, cling of chimes and chains that hold the small few affixed floating islands that exist near Tier Rock as well. Rushing of water falling, well, you hear the rushing of water pouring through the city and falling off the side of the city. We see the small lights dancing in the city of the Fey lights that give light to this entire area. Aside the moss and the lanterns, but still. Hear an ever-present of winds and the creaking of wood. So we hear a few patters upon the stone of wild animals and those that lurk in the darkness, of course. As this morning is peacefully brought upon, the smell of lavender and cinnamon begin to build up as we hear the sound of people starting to set up stalls early in the morning for the coming festival. It's at this point we start to fast forward a little bit through time as day starts to build faster and faster into the daylight. We see individuals gathering outside of an inn starting in the Western District, a little bit northwest of the Mage's Respite. We see a large set of floats beginning to move southeast through the city, spiraling around the city. Following it, we see crowds of people, and we hear the chanting of the festival beginning to take place in the city itself. Go ahead and just go ahead and change to this really quickly. Yep. Copy. Just /loop so I could get back to that one if I needed to. As the festival kicks off and the day begins, we see many different stands and stalls of performers, foods, drinks, trinkets, nicks and knacks, different items from different lands. We see stalls of limestone and stone carvers from Dirath. We see those half-giants who bring in these beautiful woven pieces of wood and stone together from the realm of, and volcanic stone included, from the realm of Stone Throw to the northwest of here. We see individuals, small halflings who seem to be playing beautiful lutes and bagpipes and drums as they come from the land of Strumland, telling tales, performing plays. though only a few, due to the effects of today being the beginning. We see individuals all the way from the wastes who seem to be selling rare coats and oddities of snow leopards and yetis and different creatures from the waste itself. We see individuals from the lands of Hestia, and I think it's Hestia. Give me a second, actually. I might be stupid and have written the wrong thing. To get my world map out that I drew 6 years ago. It's Hestelia, sorry. Hestelia, the home of tieflings and volcanoes and the hells, who seem to be purveying large orange gemstones and rocks molten by the lava and the heat of the continent itself, as well as some ash glass, which seems to be glass imbued with this beautiful ash. And then we see other individuals from the island of Kentu, which is the home of the Kenku and the Kentu races, the Kentu being my homebrew one, who seem to be selling these beautiful wreathed necklaces of shells, grasses, gemstones, pearls. We see different food stalls opening that seem to be mainly human and dwarven, but there are some individuals from different types of fruits and vegetables from different lands, such as the Angelic Alens, where we see mangos, which are a mango-like fruit, but not exactly. They are about a foot in diameter and full, and they seem to have an orangish red kind of hue instead of normal mango hue. Though they are fruity and do taste the same, they do have a little bit of a different taste. We see different types of these things happening as the parade serpentines around the entire area, the entire city, as it starts to go southeast, and then it gets to the south point, starts to head eastwards. As it gets east, it becomes ready to move straight through the city back to the west and back up north, as it continues to spiral in this strange pattern throughout the city. At this point, we see one individual going around the city. V, if you would like to introduce your character and what they are doing on the first day of the festival.
So
Let me turn
we
you
have
up. You are very
ourselves
quiet.
a rather.
V, are you away from your mic because you're really quiet?
Sorry, is that better?
I still can't hear it.
Give me 1 sec.
You might just have to turn them up a bit.
No, they're at 200%.
Better?
Speak again.
Can you hear me?
One more time.
Let me check one more thing.
There we
here.
go. There you go. You're better now. For me, anyways.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Gotcha.
I realized it was
Alright.
my headset not being that high up. Let me turn down the music a little bit because this song's a bit louder.
All right. So, a rather lovely and rather well endowed, shall we say, plant woman is walking down, carrying a couple things in her arms. They seem to be mostly plants and a couple odd trinkets of sorts that are typically associated with healing rituals. Things she had brought here and a couple things that she had bought. She is clearly looking for something amongst the stalls, however, she seems to be having quite a bit of trouble finding it. And actively turns around to head back, and most likely would encounter the party in doing so.
You're not going to encounter the party. They're a day ahead.
I don't know.
What are you doing during the festival is what I'm asking you.
She would probably set up a... I probably should have thought about this a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she looking around, looking for some ingredients. She's attempting to find herself some kind of... She's attempting to find certain, shall we say, components to restock her component pouch as she had found she was running low.
Okay. So you're looking for magical components, correct?
Yeah,
All right. What class are you again? I completely forget. Sorry.
I am a sorcerer.
Okay.
I actually do have a component pouch. It says I can restock it as part of my daily preparations, but I need a plot reason, so.
So, looking around for components and whatnot, you managed to find some components that might be useful, some that might not be. You're not sure. Most of the stuff you usually use is natural, I would assume.
Oh yeah, very much so.
You
She's
do
found.
you find some natural incenses, some natural healing medicine, salves, things that can be used to make salves, like berries and plants and whatnot. You do
Frankly,
find
that'd be
that,
perfect. She
yeah.
really needs some more healing supplies, especially.
After finding all this, looking around, the festival is continuing. There are people on the streets, not as much as you thought would be during a festival, but it seems they're all following the parade that ran through this area a bit ago.
Alright.
As the festival continues on, as you grab a few more items, our camera pans out once again upwards as we watch time fly by a bit faster as the cart eventually lands and finishes at the northern edge of the city of Turam, where there's this large field outside the walls and a large tower next to a lake. The tower, from a distance, you can see multiple sky ships have landed at it and docked. You can see people getting off. You can see people going into the tower and whatnot. As we zoom forward, we see quite a few individuals sitting about the lake as we see the sun beginning to set during the day. Well, not during the day, but at the end of the day, as we see the greens and blues of the Aurora Borealis start to get a little bit more prominent as sunset comes. We see the tower explodes with fireworks, shooting off into a beautiful pattern reminiscent of a phoenix at first, that then shifts to a tree, then back to almost a flowing waterfall, and it continues to make different shapes and shapes and different shapes. To this point, as night falls, around sunset, as our vision looks upwards, as we see the party and we see individuals looking up towards the sky, we see a pulse from above, as many different colors are starting to shine in the sky rather than just the Aurora Borealis. We see multiple of them linking together, almost like this lattice around the world, very faintly, as we feel this pulse of energy. We find ourselves zooming in once again to a particular eastern point. Western point of the city, my bad. I keep getting east and west mixed up, my bad. We find ourselves moving a bit west of the Mage's Respite, in a small little, how should I say, neighborhood. Copy. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. I think this is the one that I wanted. I don't know. Let's see. So, you guys hear it? I can hear it. Okay. So, as we zoom in, we find ourselves following a man who is shuffling upon walls towards this neighborhood that we can see in the distance between alleyways. Soup, describe your character and what they're doing.
This man is, well, for the most part, simply observing, and he is observing, and you could say that he's taking note of various important people. But one that he currently has a particular eye for right now is a strange kitsune that he ran into recently that he also...
You don't see the kitsune at the moment, remember?
Yes, but he has notes on them and is simply compiling the information. That is what he's currently doing.
You're bleeding out, remember?
Oh, I thought we took care of that already.
No, we never got to Mama Murphy.
Ah, in that case, I am making my way to Mama Murphy to get a prosthetic.
Alright, so as you shuffle through one of the alleyways, getting closer and closer, you look to your right and you see this, not rabid, but this, stray dog that seems to be biting and eating into this large dead rat on the ground. It looks towards you and starts to growl. Describe your character, please, is what I'm asking.
He is about average height, 5'7" approximately. Male, human, pale skin, blackish hair with normal brown colored eyes.
Mm-hmm. So as you see this dog growling at you, what do you do?
I'm going to try and back away from it because I would rather not have what it has.
Alright.
Not to mention I am essentially crippled right now.
So as you back away, it just continues to stare at you as you move away. You eventually push through a few felts and clotheslines to push through the small neighborhood that you know of. It's a homey yet one of the more...
Go get Mom.
Jesus
Go
Christ.
get Mom.
Jesus Christ, GJ. Jesus Christ. Anyways, so as you push through, you know the neighborhood is homey, yet it's less, should I say, cared for. It's not a slum, to be precise. It's just
simply forgotten.
to an extent. It's almost like a forgotten hollow, to an extent. Guards do come here every so often, but it's not like they fly over it mostly. So
like, okay, that place exists, but it's not something that we want to spend the money on.
As you push through the clotheslines, you remember why. As you look through, you see the normally cobbled, beautiful streets are pushed open by weeds and overgrown bits and pieces of vegetation. You see a few trees that are sprouting at the moment. You see above is this tense, almost fixture of multiple different angled felts and silks and tarps that have been hung up with these small sticks and pieces of wood and pieces of metal that have been poked into the sides of the buildings that surround this neighborhood. It's not a straight neighborhood like the rest of the city, which seems to just be straight, and there's a road in between it. What you see is multiple barricades almost of wood, stone, and metal that have been built up almost like gates that have then also been repurposed into new buildings. And you see this small circular area that is just overgrown with grass, weeds, vegetation, trees, and whatnot. And you can see many different hovels and small buildings have been built on the sides of buildings or in the small gap of this like good 300, 500, maybe 700 at most foot wide area. It's not a full circle either. It's small. It has small indate conclaves and concaves. Concaves and convexes. And you can see the ground is not even as well. Like this, it should be normal street, but you can see small mounds of dirt that have been piled up for the grass to grow on. The smell you get is a nice earthy smell from this area. Unlike the normal bit of Tirok where you get the smells of industrialization, smoke, smog, a little bit from certain parts of the city, or normal perfume, or just normal sweats. Here, you get more earthy and natural smells, it seems. As you walk in, you see these small buildings that seem to pepper the area, have a few lights on. You can see small fires have been built to keep people warm. It's not a slums, but it can be. You can see in the very center of the small, tent top to the entire area here, at the very top of it, there is a hole in the middle of it. And you can see a small guard on a chariot with a flying Pegasus stops above the hole and just stares down and just clocks what he can inside before he continues along. You get the feeling there's this kind of, just looking at it, this sensation of the guards being like, we'll let you handle yourselves, but we're going to stop by and look every so often. At this point, you realize you are kind of in the wilds to an extent. You do remember what this place is called. This part of the city is called the Hovel.
It just appears in my vision, the hovel.
Yeah, basically, like a HUD appearance. It's nice earthy green too. It has some the L moves up and left and it grows down onto the other letters. As you enter the hovel, you do know this is part of the underworld. A lot of the people here have connections to the underworld or just don't make enough money to live in the city.
Do
but don't
legal jobs.
Yeah, but don't want to leave the city or can't leave the city either.
Mm-hmm.
As you enter,
Anyway.
As you move forward, you can see hanging strands of pots and hanging clotheslines and felts and everything like that too. They're all kind of musty, and there's this musty, earthy smell that you feel. Make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Alright, dex save. I am actually kind of decent at dex.
I would say you've probably spent a good bit of time here at some point in your life, just because of just because of who you are. You've probably done a few investigations in this area or for the people of this area too. These people aren't, most of these people, I should say, only the people you've talked to aren't evil people, like assassins ready to kill people. There are some of those, but most of them are people that most of them are people that are just trying to survive and have to work with the underworld to survive.
Yeah, because I guess due to circumstances, they can't do legal stuff.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Alright. Make one reflex save. Now, what are the chances that Avery is going to screw me over?
Yeah,
on
I meant
this?
reflex. You could roll with dice golem if you want.
I'm gonna roll with Avery this time just to make sure.
Okay.
That's a 16.
You need a 10.
I
Good. So, as you enter in, you swear you hear some talking, and there is this dialect that has been formed here, similar to many other different places where, small, secluded places will form a kind of dialect or a, what is it called? For example, when ghetto people create slang, there it is, slang that's used for words or, replaces words. You hear this slang being talked to by a few people around the area, and you hear above you some slang being talked, and you hear, and you recognize it as look out, and you look up and see this pot has snapped off of one of the hanging lines it was on, comes down to you, and you jump to the left as you hear it shatter onto the ground. I wanted an excuse to use that, just so you're aware. Anyways,
Understandable.
As it shatters, a bit of liquid splashes out onto you, but it's not oil or anything. It smells like piss. Hey, look at that, Ah, and they just throw their hand down towards you and go back to their business. You can see above you there is affixed to one of the higher buildings, a small balcony building that just outcrops. You can see, unlike most of the area, the buildings that go up are about 20, 25, 30, maybe 40 feet high on the taller ones, and there are additions that make them arc at an angle upwards, almost creating these large arches that seem to support the small tent structure above that keeps it guarded from rain and weather. And you can see that one of those larger buildings is where the pot fell from, but that's not why you're here.
Yep. Hopefully this spot was not something of great importance. I have places to be for the time being. I will make my way to...
We'll see about creating an actual slang language for you and me, just so you're aware, because that's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Basically, thieves can't.
Yes. So as you continue to make your way through the small area, you get to the center area, which you know is the orchard, or many people know as the orchard of the hovel, just because there are a lot of trees and fruit-based and vegetable-based growing things. This is where it's upon the largest hill, the largest mound, where multiple things are grown for people to just come and take a little bit from that live here. There is also a well that's well broken down, but it seems to be placed so that the groundwater seems to many of the plants seem to seep down into the well to get to the groundwater. But anyways, as you walk through the orchard, you see a few small critters crawl, look at you. Their eyes bug a little bit as they continue to swirl around. you eventually get to this pinnacle of the hill, where you see this small, not sandstone, but this adobe-based hut that's just small circular hut, maybe about... Thank you. Maybe about 30... Thank you for the cricket noises. Maybe about 30 feet wide at most. It seems to almost bobble out like a bubble. However, at the very tops of it, you can see this small mushroom-like shaped roof that seems to almost like an upside-down bowl lay on top of it and come off to the sides. You can see multiple pieces of grass and moss and weeds growing on the top of it, and there's a small little chimney that comes out the side of it as well, made of stone that's overgrown as well. You could see a small window and a small front door that's very rounded at the top, made of wood, with a small handle on it that's more like a knocker than a handle. And you can see in the window there are these flickering firelight from the inside, and you can see the window's on the right side, by the way, and you can see puffs of smoke billow out of the chimney. They're not a black smoke like a wood like a fucking house fire, but they're more of this beautiful white smoke that billows out, and as it goes up, it gets about 10 feet up before exploding outwards and starting to fall back onto the orchard. And as it does, you smell cinnamon. You recognize this as Mama Murphy's abode. By the way, the housing color is a nice, Adobe sand brick color, right? Like the nice tan color.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
If you need any more descriptions of the house, let me know.
No, I think that's good enough.
This is one of the things I've planned.
I will, I guess...
Oh, I apologize. There is a small windowsill underneath the small round window. It seems to curve around the window's base itself. And below that, you can see a few knickknacks upon the ground, which seem to be presents given to the abode to Mama Murphy by some of the residents or people that come through.
All right.
You remember it's not necessary, but it does put you in favor if you leave a gift. Also, people like to thank her for allowing them to use her abode or her orchard around her abode to an extent. She's kind of like the main centerpiece here, so people give her thanks a lot. She's like grandma to people.
I would assume that I have like a plank of wood I'm using as a makeshift crutch to make my way up to the door and proceed to knock on it politely.
Alright, you make your way up to the door. Roll me a general athletics or acrobatics check to see if you can make your way to the door, because it's not very handicap friendly here.
Of course not. Athletics or acrobatics? I'm going to make that acrobatics because I have better proficiency in that.
Okay.
Or should I say I have only proficiency in that one.
How tall is your character?
About 5'7", sort of halfway between that and 5'8", so
Okay, good enough. Anyway,
decent enough.
so what'd you roll?
Roll with Dice Golem because Avray gave me a 2 on the dice, so I'm gonna roll.
What do you need a prosthetic for again? Is it an arm or a leg?
It was a leg. Actually, it's a foot specifically. Which foot?
Left.
Okay.
You're missing your left foot, right?
Yes,
Okay.
because it got cut off from the force field. That is a 29.
So, as you make your way up without issue, it's not muddy today. It hasn't really downpoured too much lately. It has rained and sprinkled, but it hasn't downpoured. So you get the feeling that the trickling of the water moves down the hill rather than absorbing too much into it because of the large canopy above. However, as you get up and you knock on the door, you hear this small strumming like lutes sound from inside, and you hear, "Yes, hello." And you
Miss
see-
Murphy.
Go ahead.
Miss
sorry.
Murphy, it is me, Andreas Vanguard. I'd like to ask for some assistance.
Oh, Andy, give me 1 second. I have some things in the grill. And you hear a few things shuffle around inside. And after a minute or two, if you would like to do anything during that minute or two, feel free.
I will just sort of move a little away from the door so that it doesn't hit me when it opens, because I'm going to assume it opens outward. I'm going to sit down on the stairs for the time being and sort of just enjoy the atmosphere.
Oh, there are no
since-
stairs here. It's
Well,
just a
I will-
hill with a hovel.
I'll sit on the side of the hill then.
So as you take a good step back, remembering the first time you came here to Mama Murphy's abode, or hovel I should say, you remember it does open outwards, and as the door opens, you feel a small wind as the door opens up with a force. Mama Murphy got some muscles on her. And she does
That's
open
why
the door.
you don't mess with her. You don't mess with Mother Murphy,
She
because
opens
otherwise...
the door fast and hard, and you remember the first time you were here, you got hit in the face and rolled down the hill. You almost
Yep.
fell in the well, actually, funny enough. But the door does open, and you see standing there with a small apron wrapped around her waist. You see this gnomish figure with this large bulbous nose that seems to droop a little bit. These rosy cheeks, this ever-present smile, and the look of old age starting to take the face, multiple wrinkles, this small set of broken spectacles on. You see this gnomish lady who is very olive-skinned. Her fingers are very thin, and her hair comes up to not really an afro, but it just poofs out similar to an afro. It's very curly hair that almost poofs out like an afro. As she stands there, she opens the door, and she seems to be wearing this small apron with some stuff under it, and she goes, Andy, it has been so long. Come in. You've looked better.
It indeed has been far too long, Mother Murphy. I will take you up on this offer of hospitality, as I stand up with a bit of effort, because, I'm missing a foot, and make my way inside.
Oh no, what happened to your foot, dear?
Well, I was taking a job to investigate some of the stranger occurrences in the richer parts of town, and one thing led to another, and they almost caught me.
Well, it looks like you're fleet on your feet. Or it was. Sorry, dear. Anyways, and as you enter into her hovel, you see the 20, 30 foot maybe, like end-to-end kind of hovel. As you enter in, you see this small, you see the main foyer is, has this wooden floorboard that creaks as soon as you step in. To the left, away from the window, is a small, table and chair set, with two tables and two chairs and a single table, both made of wood. Very finely decorated with this beautiful tablecloth and a candelabra in it. You see, to the right is a large stone oven that leads to the chimney, and that's where the fire is coming from, as well as a few lanterns that hang from the ceiling. And then you see a small staircase that leads down at the very back of the house. As you enter in, you can see hanging from the roof, which, by the way, is only about, at most, 5 feet high, so it, arches upwards, so you're walking into this, 4'3" tall house, and you're having to duck down like Luke in fucking Yoda's house.
I would think more like Gandalf in Bag
Yeah.
End.
Kind of. As you're, trying to come in, you see the staircase that leads down, and she seems to have something cooking in the stove. Well, two things. She has a pot on the very bottom of the fire that seems to be cooking with it, and then she has a small tray at the top that is set upon this grate. She goes, the cookies are just about done. I'll give you one. Just wait here. Go ahead and sit down wherever you need to. So, I won't ask about your work. I don't do that, dear. What have you come to Mama Murphy for? Because most people don't come to just visit. I know better. Andy, you never come and visit. So, what do you need from Mama Murphy?
Well, for the
She's
time
putting on.
being...
She's putting on a cooking oven as you. She's putting on a cooking mitt as you're still hunched over, trying not to fucking break your back in here.
Yeah.
By the way, there
Well-
are things hanging from the ceiling, so you're hitting a few lanterns or cooking pots as you're bending down too.
Yep. Well, for the time being, it would be nice to get something to replace my missing foot.
Ah, prosthetic, huh? And you see her take the tray off the top and blows on it and puts it down by a side table made of stone that she pulls out of the side of the oven and places it down. As you see, a small set of legs comes out of the bottom of the table that she just pulled out of the side of the oven, and it's affixed to the oven itself, so it could move in and out. But she puts it there, and she goes, "Well, I think I have a few prosthetics laying around, and I can adjust the sizing depending on what you need.
That would be most helpful. Also, I know you also don't do this work for free, so is there anything you need me to assist you with whilst I'm here?
The festival is starting today, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, that's an easy one. Find me some exotic spices that I can use for my cooking, and we'll call it even.
Exotic spices. In that case, is there anything that you were looking for in particular?
I've always wanted to try creating something to complement the human taste buds. So anything from Darath really would make sense. But anything else that you find, now that would be good.
I may be able to help you with that.
Well, that's great, dearie. So, you needed a prosthetic, and she starts to think, do you want wood, stone, or metal?
I believe the wood one would be the easiest one to get used to.
Of course. And she turns around and goes, you don't look very well. Do you want me to patch you up as well?
That would be helpful. Also, I believe I can also take care of myself.
Of course. I'll get you some bandages. Have a cookie while you're waiting. And she starts to walk down the staircase, taking off the apron.
Is there like a, I guess, gnomish-sized pair of tweezers? Because these cookies are probably still very, very hot.
They are very hot. Looking at them, they are these, they are a bit smaller than normal cookies would be, but they seem to be very decorated, wonderfully made, white caked kind of look like cooking, like white flour-based cookies. And as you look at them, you can see that they crumble apart very easily, and you do see a small bit of a small spatula off to the side.
All right. I will use that spatula to take one cookie, since she said one, and I don't want to annoy her. So I'm going to take one, sort of blow on it, get it a little bit cooler, and then I guess half use it as a spoon and half scoop it into my mouth and enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah. You gain 1 temporary HP.
Yay, 1 temp HP.
So as you eat it, technically that just heals you, but anyways, I don't know how temp HP works in Pathfinder 2e, so that's how I'm just using it right now.
I believe it works the same way.
Yeah. So as you get 1 temporary HP,
It works
you
the same way.
eventually sit down and wait, and after a little bit of moving around downstairs, you see Mama Murphy comes up to the top floor again, holding a small case that seems to have a few medical supplies in it, and what looks like a large prosthetic leg, made of, you said wood?
Wood.
Made of wood that seems to just dangle behind her. It seems to be attached with strings and wires to the foot to allow movement between it. It also has multiple sockets made of wood so that it can just move like a normal foot. And as she comes to the table and places down the box and then the wooden leg, and she goes, I have a wooden leg. I don't think you want to saw off your own leg, do you?
I would rather not. It was cut off through some magical means, so it has already been cauterized.
So mind you, it's above the ankle. It's not just like below the ankle. So it's like maybe a good 3 inches up the leg. So,
Okay. Yeah, I can visualize that.
Well, I can fix this for you. Give me 1 second. She pulls out this small saw and starts to cut through it. In the meantime, fix yourself up. There's gauze and different medical equipment if you need to use it. If you'd like to make a medicine check on yourself to try and heal yourself.
Do I get any bonuses because this is on myself?
I will give you a +2 because you're using a kit for medicine. It's not a full like first aid kit based thing. It's just gauze and like some stitches and whatnot. But it's enough to be able to give you a bonus.
Alright. I normally have +3. That makes it +5. 24.
24. Damn, son. Where'd you get that? Anyways,
Through sheer luck and the power of Dice Golem.
so eventually you do manage to fix yourself. You do regain. What is your Constitution modifier?
My Constitution modifier is +4.
25 HP.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And you are no longer bleeding to death. Eventually, she does also affix the prosthetic wooden leg to you, and as she starts to give you some tips on using it, it seems to work perfectly fine with you. It is affixed through leather straps and small studs that are fucking bolted into your leg, and it uses those vibrations to move the leg to an extent. It's not a heavily magic device, it is a mundane magic item, so it has very little magic in it, but it still does move like a foot would, using strings and pulleys and small rolling wooden balls to help you. It also has a little bit of metal put into it to give it more weight, so that you're not just like not being able to feel it. You can also feel the leg moving around. That's some of the mundane magic in it. So you could feel it like it was your own leg, but you could remove it at any time.
Okay, so other than feeling through the leg, it would work perfectly fine in an anti-magic field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Well, there are some effects to it. It would be weird to do, so you would probably not have any negatives for having it in an anti-magic field, but it would just, roleplay-wise, it would be weird.
Yeah, roleplays, it would be like, huh, I lost feeling.
Mhm.
Alright, I will thank Madam Murphy for assisting me in this
Mama
matter, and
Murphy.
Mama Murphy.
She corrects you. It's Mama
Yes.
Murphy, baby.
Yes, my apologies, Mama Murphy. I will make my way to the festival and see if I can find some stands that sell spices from other lands. I will look for Duras to be specific.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, darling. However, there is also the fireworks show tonight if you're looking for something to look at.
I will look forward to that and then.
At this point, I would like you to make me an Arcana check. Are you actually? I'll ask this: are you trained in Arcana?
Yes.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
Dice Golem 1d20 plus 13. 19.
On this clear night, as you step out of Mama Murphy's abode and look upwards, you see the Aurora Borealis is shining a bit more brightly, and multiple colors have started to streak through it. You feel this pass over you. This pulse, this hum.
It seems it was already started. In that case, I should make my way there.
As you begin to walk out, look it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Shadowy. Shadowy, you're muted.
Hello. Yeah, hello.
What's your character's name?
L sign.
Elsan. As you sit within your room studying a few tomes, some things mentioning some ancient tomes that, well, not ancient, but older tomes mentioning necromancy, and how it was used. They don't ban the knowledge of it, they ban the practice of it. As you start to look through that, you start to read about how they used to enchant crystals to act as a core for personality and heart of undead, called soul gems. And you do see recent ones that mention some of the leading armies of Horacles' members in the last 20 years have been found to be using soul gems to keep their personality in their minds. Ruby, you are in the mic right now, just so you're aware.
Alright.
Yeah. As you're looking at this, the drawings of the magical energies, it's similar to what you saw with Tatriel, but not exactly the same. And you're starting to think, how does this work? What's going on? As night starts to fall and you can hear the sounds of the festival passing away passing near the mage's school. You take a small break and you take a step towards the window that overlooks the city, As you do, you see the parade prancing about towards the nighttime, as the Mages Guild is on the northeast part of the city. As you look down, and the camera pans out to the outside of the window, and these small bits of light that are coming through with sunsets hit and hide the top of your face in shadow a bit. Describe your character.
So, Elsign is a somewhat humanoid-looking boy. It's quite clear he's a teenager, though his features betray his age. He's rather short at a mere 5'4". His build is somewhat lithe, and his face has quite a few freckles on it. His cheeks are a bit chubby, and his hair is a curly brown, with eyes that are a icy blue.
As you look,
He sits
go ahead.
he sits at the window, pondering how exactly did that how exactly that dunce figure that out.
As you're thinking about this, watching the parade, a few birds fly in front of your window. Roll me a will save.
Aw, shit. Oh, wait, there is the rolls channel. Alright, yep, there we go. Okay. Well, that's only 15.
15?
Yeah.
As you're looking out towards the festival, you watch the Aurora Borealis start to get a bit brighter as you feel this pass over you. As you do, you feel this heavy arcane pulse pass you. Do you have Academia, do you have Lore Arcana?
I have Lore Academia, and I have the Arcana skill.
Roll me a Lore Academia or Arcana check, your choice.
Okay. Alright, so dirty 20.
You recognize the pulse. It is a pulse of a ley line. The ley lines are this interconnecting, almost like the veins of magic around the world. They act as a lattice shape to an extent. To your knowledge from reading history books, that seem to power the world, act in ways that create the world to an extent. All forms of rules for the world, such as death, such as life, such as magic, such as physics, seem to relate to an extent to these ley lines. And though the ley line pulses are usually, through most time, very faint, like barely a blip over the course of maybe 30 years, and even then they still hum every so often, during solstices they do seem to become more frequent and more powerful, depending on how powerful this, well, how, not how powerful but or volatile, but how important the solstice is to an extent. They've been happening at least once a month in Tyrellian this past year, and this one you felt is strong enough that it feels like a magnetic pool of a magnet on the scale of probably the size of the city. As you feel it pass over you, you almost become nauseous from the pure arcane magic passing through you. As you look down, you feel your body start to not seize, but starts to shake as you see bits of arcane energy sparking on your hand, and you realize magic may get freaky in the next few days, because you do know there's a solstice coming up in 2 days.
Ugh, God's help me.
As you start to turn around, you feel your vision darken for a second. What is your alignment?
Chaotic neutral.
Okay. Give me a second here then. you feel pulled to the western points of the city. You feel this strange tug in the back of your mind. But that's all.
Huh. Certainly, something that might merit investigation. I should probably be careful about it.
So, what do you do?
Alright, so seeing as it's late at night, and this arcane
Well,
pulse
it's not
just...
late at night. As soon as sunset hit, that pulse.
Perhaps... I just think perhaps I should ask around about what might be towards the west. I don't want to just go there blindly.
What's your perception bonus?
+8.
As you begin to put on a coat, your small coat that you probably wear, fix your hair a little bit, and look for some of your books that you bring with you, your spell book, attaching it to your leather holster. You begin to push through your door, and you swear you hear something moving on your desk. And as you turn around, you wait for a second, and you watch as the book that's open on your desk jumps up and falls back onto the table. And you stare there for another 2 minutes. Doesn't move again.
So I'm assuming that wasn't one of the animated books from the library.
No. The books in the library are only animated while in the library, to your knowledge. It seems to be an
Does that
enchantment
mean
of
that
the library itself.
Pulse. This has something to do with the pulse, perhaps. Yeah, it was the book on necromancy.
As you're thinking that, you suddenly feel yourself lift up like you're flying and land on the floor again.
Oh.
You watch all the furniture in your room do the same, landing on the ground.
Oh, I think fortunately my tailbone's fine. Ugh. Yeah, perhaps I should begin my investigation quickly. And I make my way out to start figuring out what's at the way.
You watch as an individual in the hallway falls to the ground. Ugh! Ugh! And you see the large ringed hallway that surrounds. You're probably on one of the more inner rings at this point. We'll say you're closer to the Emerald Ring. You're on the Aquamarine Ring, which is one of the schools. You're not at the highest tier, but there are multiple rings that connect the many different towers of the structure. And as you look, you see this mage who's very obviously like a high-powered mage to an extent, or a high-studied mage, I should say, stand up and look around, rubbing his head, and you just see a box fall on the other side of the hallway too. That was weird. He stands up and brushes himself off, and he looks at you, nods his head, "Good day," and he continues to walk.
Oh god. This is really going to be interrupting my studies, isn't it? Let's just go.
Roll me a diplomacy check if you're asking around.
Alright. The Elsine goes about the college, asking his compatriots what might be in the West.
Manifest destiny, my friend. Manifest destiny.
Alright, that's a 32.
32. The only thing that really has any notes to the mages of the college in the West would be the Mage's Respite, which is a large, towering, wizards-like tower that's much bigger on the inside than the outside, and members of the college get reduced prices to the rooms here, including the faculty, and it is a staple for the Mage's College. For people looking to find entrance to the Mage's College that are from out of town, they usually stay in the Mage's Respite. It is usually the first place people coming from the western reaches of the continent stay in, because it is one of the more fine establishments, and it is more mage-friendly to an extent. That is the only thing that you really get.
So El Sanctus thinks, the mage's respite. I guess that's certain. Oh.
You also
Oh,
remember
no.
what happened there earlier today.
Yeah, I'm just like,
earlier
oh
today,
no.
earlier today in game.
He's like, I have to go to that accursed establishment again. Okay, perhaps I should rest before. It's. I look outside for a. Or I just go to the nearest window to look outside.
So the hallways are these rings of just. They're like these rings that curl around the tower, and they have towers affixed to them. However, as you do go up to the side of them, they almost become this translucent, like, window, like 10, 15 foot tall windows on the sides of them. And as you look out, roll me a nature check. Or sorry, nature check.
Yeah, okay. Alright. There we go. Well, it's only a 10.
Something strange, but you don't know what it is.
Something. I have a distinct feeling I should know that there's something going on here. I just don't have a good feeling about this. Alright. Well, perhaps I shouldn't waste
with a 10,
my time.
the only thing you know is the skyline looks a little bit different.
That's a bit odd, but with everything that's been going on, that's probably the least of my concerns as of now. Well, I guess I shouldn't be delaying this any further. To the mage's respite I go.
Alright, as you begin to leave the college, you go over the bridge, which feels extraordinarily long. As you continue through the city, you feel eyes on the back of your head. And we're going to switch from you now. Almond, or Ruby, I should say, invert. As you find yourself resting in the mage's respite, in your room, remember the events of the day. The attack. The acquaintance you made. How he sold your shit. How you two fought against this strange syndicate coming after him. As you think about it, there's a lot of strange things going on in this city recently. And as you think back to the syndicate, I'd like you to make me a perception check. Or a lore fortune telling, your choice.
Perception is surprisingly better, though that's only because it's expert. Or... Oh, that's a low roll. 18.
18. There's something familiar about those individuals you fought today. Those syndicate members. As you start to draw out of your memories, their cloaks, their items looked similar to someone you've seen before, but you can't place it. As this keeps you up a bit, you do get your long rest, by the way. But as this does keep you up a bit, you sit up in your bed. I would assume you're clothed in your bed to an extent, correct?
Yeah.
As you sit up, a little bit of sweat dropping down your face in this cool atmosphere. You feel this pulse that causes a chill to run up your spine. Roll me a religion or arcana or lore fortune telling check.
Alright, I'm going to roll a fortune-telling lore with a +8. Oh, I'm gonna be rolling terribly all session. That's a nat 1.
Prophecy's Bond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
So as you reach down and pull out a card from your deck really quickly and just flip it over, you look and it's a blank card, and you're like, that's strange. And you see this orange energy, this orange bluish energy fill your body once again, and you recognize this as the divine energy that shoots through you sometimes and helps you out or demerits you at times. And you see it starts to draw a tree upon your card. Now roll me either a nature or religion check, please.
A nature or religion? They're both plus 0. Oh god.
But tell me what it is before you roll.
It's religion.
Okay, because it gives you different information, just so you're aware.
19.
19. You're not sure why, but you've had dreams before of a tree of divine origin. And this looks like the shape of that thing that you've seen. You're not sure why it's being placed onto this blank card, but it is. And as you look at this card, the card crumbles into nothing. I would say as a kid scene, you do realize you'd get your magical kind of powers from divine nature.
Yeah. That I did. No. Well. At first, I believed it was the large tree on the island, but now... what should I do?
I will mention the tree that shoots up through the island, mind you. It's not from the island itself, it's from the lake below and shoots up through the island, which is thousands of feet in the sky, is considered a, not divine tree. Well, to some it may be a divine tree. Some of the tribes believe that, but it is considered a worshipped tree to an extent. It is, no one knows how old it is, to be precise. It was here before Turam was created.
It's worth checking at the least. As I'd get up, get my stuff together, and head out towards the base of the tree. Well, not base, but the base of the tree on the island.
Alright, so there's the small ring about 30 feet that surrounds the trunk of the tree, and then there are the small, what are they called, bridges that lead to the noble district that shoots upwards in two small pathways up. But yeah, anyway, so as you begin to leave the Mage's Respite, you look up and see the Aurora Borealis starting to shift in color from greenish blue to a more, it has some strands of orange, red, and yellow, as well as purple in it. You can see they're spiraling around each other, and you can see stars that shouldn't be out at this point. Like constellations like the Big Dipper and some other ones that shouldn't be out at this point, just to your knowledge, are starting to faintly appear in the sky. Shane. CJ, you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Midnight Blue.
As you've been shopping for the day, what did you pick up?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You've been shopping for the day, so what did you pick up during the festival?
I picked up some interesting toys from this culture for the 6 nephews and nieces I have.
Alright, go ahead and mark off, we'll say mark off a gold piece.
Alright.
So, as you've been traveling, I would assume you go to the fireworks show upon the lake, right?
Yeah, I'd go check it out to see what this area has to offer.
Alright, so, as you do so, you see these explosions of fireworks, and you can see the strands of the fireworks. Your perception's hella high, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like plus 11.
Okay, so you notice as this strange pulse hits you, no one else seems to notice it to an extent. and you see the fireworks embers that are starting to fade stay in the air for a bit, hang around, almost lag, and then continue to fade. You
The
recognize
simulation is
immediately
breaking.
You immediately recognize this arcane pulse as something that happens during solstices, since you've trained and felt these pulses happen because of your close connection to divine energy while you've been training. Your close connection to life energy, I should say, ki.
Yeah.
It works similarly to divine energy to an extent. It seems to have the same effects on it as if someone poured divine energy into it. You feel your body, your ki, and the ki of people around you almost freezes for a second and continues.
That was an amazing fireworks show. Now, what else was on the list? Got the toys. Don't really need anything else to buy. How late is it?
It's past sunset. It's about 7 at night.
Got a few more hours abroad in the nightlife.
Shane. As you begin to head back into the city, notice a few villagers or individuals from the city fall into the grassy fields and disappear.
I'm trying to think what this would be. Could I roll some nature knowledge and know what the fuck's going on here?
You can roll me a perception check.
Okay, that works better. That is a total of 25.
Fuck. That's the DC, you son of a bitch. So, you watch as these individuals fall into the grassy field and seem to fall unconscious. You swear you see the shimmer of a form behind where they each fell. And you can see the shimmering form seem to drag them deeper near the lake, to the lake. About 7 of them.
How far are they?
You were just about at the lake and you were getting to the wall, and you looked back just because of that strange thing with the firework, and you saw that maybe in the distance, maybe a good 300 feet.
300 feet.
Yeah.
Well, that's too far to dash.
Ruby, I'm gonna have to mute you because you keep going. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Shane.
Hold on.
Damn, everyone's muting right now.
Yes, people keep calling me. He would go and investigate this, given that he saw innocent people being dragged off.
Okay. So, as you begin to meander that way, hear in your ear, Shardstone, leave it. And as you look to your right, you see another one of these shimmering forms standing right next to you.
How do you know my name?
I know of strange people I know of most strange people entering the city, and you've caused quite a wave. This is your only warning, Shardstone. Do not oppose the Syndicate.
I take a breather for a second. Who are those people?
If I answer this question, will you not delve any deeper?
It depends on if they're innocent.
Understood. They owe the syndicate quite a debt. And we are simply having them either fulfill it through monetary means or through physical means. Of course, they will not be seen again should they take the physical means. Due to the coming solstice, we're being paid quite a bit for, should I say, purebloods.
Guessing they got into gambling or something that they couldn't afford to pay off, and your group offered to pay it.
Some got into more debts, such as medical ones, but the syndicates must always receive their recompense, should I say. So I ask you once again, don't dive into the deep end of this pool. Do not even jump in. Stay dry. Stay safe. You do not want to drown Shardstone. And with that, you see the shimmering figure completely disappear by sinking into a shadow.
I'm assuming the figures are gone that were dragged off.
You can't see them. You just faintly saw them with that check, just so you're aware. You saw them dragging them off. If you'd like to make another check, you could see if you can see them.
Yeah, I would make another check to see if I can.
Okay, make another check.
That was a 26.
Fuck, bro. You see a small...
Plus 11.
You see a small raft of sorts upon the lake edge, and you can see multiple of these people who were dragged off being put on. They seem to be tied up as they're put onto the raft, and you can see the shimmering figures barely seen, seemingly being ready to, seemingly putting on a few pieces of cargo as they seem to be starting to push off of the river. Maybe a good... By the way, you're still at the, you walked maybe 10, 20 feet away from the wall before you got into this conversation. So, you're still a good, maybe at most 700 feet from this. You're, above them looking down, by the way.
Normally I'm opposed to this, but this might be too much trouble for now. As I walk away.
Shane, do you have underworld lore?
How do I check that?
Check your lores.
The only lore I seem to have is gladiatorial.
Okay. Roll me gladiatorial lore, just really quickly.
Alright. That would be a dirty 20.
The individual that spoke to you carried themselves well, as if they were well trained. How they held themselves, you couldn't see much detail about them, but how they held themselves while they were with you, how they talked, they seemed pretty confident in being able to dispatch you at any moment. You could tell they were not a trained warrior, but a trained assassin. Just immediately. And
Maybe when I get...
How tall are you?
I am 6'5".
They were as tall, if just a little bit shorter than you. Also, with that, you rolled a what for your gladiator check?
That was a dirty 20, a +8 for a 12 on the die.
So, yeah, so with the dirty 20, you also could tell that, what was I going? Their body type, to an extent, the way they breathed, was not a heavy-set build. They're very dexterous, to your knowledge, just by how they were breathing. They were very silent. You get the feeling, I will say this, because you are walking away already, you get the feeling, had you intervened at all, you are most likely going to lose that fight.
Oh, I don't need to fight a Mever crime organization right now. As I walk away.
So, as you walk back into the city towards the Mage's Respite, to an extent, to put away some of the things you've got, let's take a break really quickly here, because I really need to use the restroom. I don't know what happened. I just really need to use the restroom. I didn't even eat anything in the last few hours. So, 5-10 minute break.
Alright.
Remember, I'm still recording, so if you want to banter, feel free.
Alright.
But if you need to, take a break as well, guys. Get some food, get some water, whatever you need. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
We
You're
need
on-
a door knocking
you can
noise.
hear
That's
it.
what we need. That's not a door knocking noise.
Bruh. Alright.
I would rather not knock on that door.
Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard
Oh
way.
no. Oh
The
no.
choice is yours.
I'm gonna grab a drink of water.
Let's see. I'm about to do something that y'all are gonna hate me for. Where is it? There it is.
So guys, you have Surge's character, which is Plant Lady.
Yeah, I didn't quite properly describe her. Y'all want me to describe her a bit better?
I've seen her picture.
Yeah, well, didn't know if you wanted me to, in order, for the sake of, you know, the recording.
Man's literally took it from Monster
Yes,
Monster Girl Quest.
media.
Capture of what? In Rise? You're playing Rise, right?
Please have mercy upon me. God help me. Please end this pain.
Alright, I stopped clicking the button.
Okay, you can mute the soundboard.
Now we'll just wait for it to catch up.
Yeah, you can mute the soundboard.
What if I don't want to? I want to see how long it takes.
Anyways, you're playing Rise, right? Yeah, it's actually a little bit more difficult than World because for captures... Was it like a
We're
three-way
getting at it
triple?
now.
Kuliyaku and who else?
Surge, you're gonna be the reason Goblin actually gets an editing software.
Oh god, it's not stopping!
I don't remember Tetranodon.
It's not moving over! It's not muting either!
Describe it to me, like visually.
Oh god, it's not done! I regret everything!
I don't remember. Oh wait, Tetranodon is the it's the moss turtle, right?
I don't think it's
Alright,
solved.
that one. Okay, so it took. I'm going to assume.
I'm back.
Well, he is a sponge.
DJ
Anyways,
Hope.
that means that it took place in the flooded forest.
I hope it won't stop.
Oh, you're in master rank, aren't you?
Angela broke the soundboard.
I'm not clicking it anymore, I swear!
I'm just gonna mute you.
Royal Newdroth only shows up in the flooded forest.
Oh god!
Oh my god.
Can we mute the soundboard?
I
Yes,
muted
you
it.
need the
for-
soundboard.
This is. I'm sorry to everyone who's watching this. You guys are just fucked. choice in this. You just have to hear it.
V, why are you spamming?
I saw it! I stopped like a minute or two ago!
Move your mouse away then!
I don't even have the soundboard open!
Close and open Discord again.
I'm gonna try leaving a rejoin in the call, he won't stop! Oh god!
The soundboard.
I broke it!
Alright, what do we do? Okay, open the soundboard.
I guess everyone leave the call and come back.
Who's playing Goku Trip?
It's V. He accidentally clicked on the soundboard 10 billion times.
Stop!
Stop!
Bro, that fucking hurts my ears. It's loud as shit. Stop!
I did! I haven't been pressing it for like 3 minutes!
Yeah, mute this. For him, that should stop it.
No, it wasn't him. I muted the soundboard. No, it is.
You can mute the soundboard separately.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
if you unmute it
Sorry.
and then remute it, it starts again. That's gonna be horrible for the video.
I'm sorry!
Oh yeah, it is.
I didn't realize
That's why
my
you
glass
don't
is
spam
long.
click. You click slightly.
I clicked too many times!
But yeah,
No
it's
shit,
easier-
Trevor.
it's easier to capture.
Oh,
it's
thank
easier
God
to
it's
capture
done.
Monsters in Rise because there's subquests instead of like the entire thing is you have to capture the monster.
I'm just gonna
Anyways,
say this now, I'm never doing that again.
is everyone back or?
I'm
I
back.
am.
Oh, I've muted Ruby. Uh-oh. I might have to go get some food for my parents in like an hour, so...
Yeah, this is gonna sound so confusing now.
So, as the group, on their own paths, begin to, should I say converge to an extent. We switch to Soup's character.
Alright.
Soup. Andreas, whatever your fucking name is.
Andreas.
Andreas?
Yes?
Mr. Ass.
Andreas.
Andrea with an S at the end.
Mr. Ass. So, as we switch to your character, as you begin to leave into the small area known as the hovel, you begin to hobble your way through the hovel. Roll me a perception check.
Perception. This is not initiative, I would assume.
Nope.
Perception. It is a plus 13. Let's see. Is Avery going to kiss me in the ass again? Yes, it will. It's a 16.
You swear you feel someone watching you. As you look up towards those archways that house the houses, you swear you see the shadows moving.
If there's someone there, just know that we are on neutral ground.
You are... It's like... It's not an enclosed space, so it's like echoing. Well, there are small echoes, but it's like... It's an open space to an extent. There's like a little bit of airflow in here. So, as you say that, it doesn't really echo too much. As you say that, though, roll me a diplomacy check.
Alright, diplomacy.
Or intimidation, whatever you're choosing.
Diplomacy. I'd rather not try and start a fight here because this is supposedly friendly turf for everyone in the underworld. 30.
30. You look up, and on one of the balconies, well, no, not even on one of the balconies, standing on one of the archways, like the very top of it, on one of these small little edges, looking down, is this furling black cloak. And the small bits of wind coming through the tunnel at the top. You can see a pale, grayish face. Very elegant. 2 ears that come out to the side. An elf. A drow. As he stares down at you, you see no eyes. His entire top face is hidden besides a single nose. And you can see the bottom face, though what you assumed was his face seems to be shifted into a metal mask, a small mask that covers up to the nose as well. It immediately comes to. And you hear above, Investigator Andreas, or should I say, Mr. Anderson, if that's not your true name anyways. The Syndicate does not appreciate rats. Remember this.
Is the Syndicate the group that I work for?
No, the Syndicate is the group you worked for to get information. You are a personal hire, to an extent. You are your own free agent. And you hear, tell me who your employer was, and you'll be safe.
Employer, you say? Actually, what language is he speaking in?
What language do you speak?
Wait.
I speak Common, Dwarven, Elvish, Orcish, Sylvan, and Undercommon.
He's speaking Undercommon down towards you. However, it's that mix of Elvish Undercommon, that kind of thieves' cant that their syndicate uses. So, as he's speaking, you can understand it to an extent. And he goes, yes, I know from my small bit of investigation. You're a free agent. You're an investigator. You look into crimes and other small requests for a price. As with what you did with us, and the information you made out with our syndicate. Return that information, and give us your employer. Or, you will not be safe outside of the hovel grounds.
You perhaps should have seen this coming. As a free agent, my will is my own. If you're looking for my employer, they are one that hired me in the Syndicate. Perhaps you have more information on that even myself.
Give me a second, because I sent you information in our private DMs, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So let me see, let's see here. So, out of character, you were not paid by the Syndicate to an extent. Let's see. Who paid you? I know I don't know if I mentioned it here, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, you were tipped off, and then some platinum was placed outside of where your abode was, your small office you have, and a note that said, here's information, I need more information. He looks down to you, or the person looks down to you, you assume it's male, and you hear, now, Mr. Anderson. The Syndicate does not rat on itself. We will find your employer one way or the other, and if we have to burn this hovel to the ground to do so, the Syndicate is prepared. Are you? And with that, a gust of wind furls their cloak around them, and they disappear. As you see, looking around, multiple people in the houses that are built upon the arches, or on the ground, or upon the other houses that make up the small, rounded area. Quite a few eyes follow you.
Yep, I am so dead.
You've gotten deep.
Yeah, the thing is, though, he's asking who my employer was. I don't know who hired me. I know it was the Syndicate. I don't know who gave me the money.
You were hired to investigate the Syndicate. You don't know if it was from somebody in the Syndicate or somebody outside of it. You just know you get the feeling they want the Syndicate to go down to an extent.
Yeah.
So, you've now been warned and told what they want.
Mm-hmm.
The papers you have hidden, and the information you've gained that you have yet to give to your employer, who you don't know. I will say the information that you have, you do know that if you leave it in a certain spot, the employer will take it and leave your payment at your door.
All right then. Did it say where this spot was and how to hide it?
Yes. The spots. Let's see. You were to give it to. You were specifically to give it to. Well, you're specifically to head to the Mage's Respite and ask Bill for a personal message.
All right then. Seeing as most of my job is done, I am going to start making my way there in a sort of roundabout way, trying to enjoy the festival on my way to the Mage's Respite.
So as you begin to enjoy the festival a bit, you eventually get to the Mage's Respite as nighttime starts to fall, and you see, three individuals, strangely enough, beginning to make their way to the Mage's Respite as well. You see this strange flower woman who seems to be heading in, who you don't know at all, which procs your mind. You're like, that's an interesting creature. I've rarely seen anything like it.
Mm-hmm.
You notice a human, draped in a few attires that look like a practitioner of the martial arts. And you see a familiar mage. All seemingly, as you just stand there for a second watching this for like a good 2 minutes, you watch them all enter the Mage's Respite one at a time.
That mage, can I roll a history check to see where I know them from?
Actually, no, you wouldn't have known him. You see a mage.
I would.
Yeah, no, because
Okay.
technically you two didn't meet.
Ah, okay. In that case,
Which is
sort of
strange to you, but they seem to be looking around, checking a book that they have and flipping through it as they enter, seemingly looking over their shoulder to an extent. So that's the thing that procs it, as you're just watching this from a distance.
is there anyone tailing me?
Make a perception check. Got a text message, let me look at it.
Mm. 21.
21. You feel as if there is, but you don't see anybody. As you have been walking through the city, as you've been roundabout taking some alleyways, you see a few beggars or individuals who are down on their luck. They shake their coin cups as other people pass by them through the street, and as you pass by them, they just stare at you, and their eyes follow you.
Right.
You do know the Syndicate does use the beggars for information, too.
Maybe not all the beggars, but certainly a
Not all,
large number
but
of them.
A large number of them, yeah. Get the feeling you're not really safe here.
Well, I'm no longer safe to begin with. I will make my way inside the Mage's Respite, trying to, I guess, attempt to obscure my identity with a hood.
As you step in, the three of you that entered beforehand, Shadowy, V, Shane. As you three step in, you see the Mage's Respite is starting to get a little bit more crowded, and you see Lieta, the Minotaur orcish woman, at the bar at the moment, speaking to Bill, her father, who's just an orc, who seems to be helping her run the bar because it's getting a little bit busy. And they seem to be handing out some elven wine, some fine liquor, and you see this human who seems to go, I got this large barrel of Durathi ale, specifically Dwarven Durathi ale. It's called, I believe the specific brand is called the Stormridge Brew. It's from Nipple, actually, the main supplier of alcohol throughout Durath. And Bill goes, uh-huh. And it is a very rare brew used from the herbs and spices. Brewed from the herbs and spices from, as well as some fruits, mind you, from the Stormridge Mountains themselves, which are a very deadly place, and this entire barrel can be yours for a cheap 50 gold pieces. And he goes, bring it in, let me get a taste of it first, see if my patrons will like it. You have got yourself a deal, and he looks around. Fuck, where did my bodyguard go? He looks around for a second. You, other human, one with the no shirt on, and the shield, the monk-looking individual. Would you mind helping me for a minute? Want to earn some coin?
What do you need? As I walk over.
I need to bring a barrel of my finest ale into the establishment for my friend Bill here, to have him taste test. If you wouldn't mind helping me carry it in, I'm not the strongest, and you look at him, and he's very scrawny, merchant-looking individual.
Sure, I'll give you a hand.
All right, and I will pay you a good 5 silver for the aid.
Alright.
So as you step out and help him bring the ale in, he does give you 5 silver afterwards. Goron, V. As you are in here, you smell alcohol, you smell people partying. Well, you see people partying. You hear these sounds of lutes being played in the middle of the room. There's no actual stage for it, but it's the Mage's Respite. I've described it 15 times at least.
Yes. I'm familiar with the place.
You see individuals who are drunk swinging around. Some people are playing cards on tables. You see an individual win a lot of money and pulls it towards it. And then another individual puts some cards down and goes, I don't think so, and takes the money himself. What are you doing? You do notice a few individuals. You notice a mage who looks frantically looking around. And you do notice individuals around the bar as well.
Well, Petra herself isn't a whole lot of a drinker, but she does enjoy herself a drink once in a while, so she's going to head up to the bar and ask for a glass of ale, actually.
Alright, Bill looks to you. I got you. What kind of ale? Do you want human, dwarven, orcish? I got a lot because the people coming in bring ale to me.
Yes.
Strong or weak?
I'd rather go with weak. Strong tends to make my leaves wilt.
Understood. Halfling ale then. Halfling ale, it's not meant to be strong, it's just meant to be tasting good. Anyways, you're a strange one. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 of your kind before. You're old. What's your age? And he pulls out a book.
God damn.
Species and age.
Are you asking for the age of my physical body or the age of myself?
Yourself. Because I know Gorons wilt and then replant themselves over and over again.
Oh, a couple hundred years, I believe.
Alright, a
I've
small
lost track
test
of
here
time.
then. Small test here then. Let's see. What can I do? Alright. How long ago was should I say... What was it again? It was... Oh yeah. How long ago was the rebellion of the current king against his father with his brothers and many noble houses?
Oh, fuck.
I believe I mentioned it was like 40 years ago.
Oh fuck.
Roll me. What kind of lores do you have?
Let me see here. Lores. I'm pretty sure that my lore here is not very useful in this specific scenario.
What is it?
Of skills. Herbalism.
Nope. He looks at you, and as you're having trouble, he goes...
I apologize. The years tend to meld together at my age.
Whatever. I don't care. It's a festival. That'll be 2 silver.
Alright. I'm gonna give him 2 silver.
Alright. He'll exchange any gold that you give him instead. And as you... Because I assume you only have gold in your pockets at the moment.
Yeah.
Alright, so he'll exchange it for 8 silver. And as he hands you the silver back, he goes, "You're halfling ale," and he hands you this small glass with this purplish green liquid in it, and it sloshes around like ale. As you begin to drink a little bit, you do pick up some information. What is your perception bonus?
My perception bonus is... That's offense, there it is. 11.
11. You do pick up some information regarding current events. It seems there was an assassination attempt when the Princess Liette Leodell was being brought back after her injuries sustained from Oakage. However, she managed to survive. The current court mage of the what's it called? the royal family is missing. Let me see if there was...
Again?
No, actually no, because that information has not gotten out publicly, but there is an individual from the government in here. Fuck. The current court mage seems to be incapacitated at the moment and cannot fulfill her duties. So they're looking to replace her for a little bit. You also have heard that the bandits to the west have been scattered for a bit after an attack led by the heroes of Oakage. And an individual named Rankus from Oakage has began to journey more westwards.
See.
You also do hear information about a solstice at the end of the year.
Solstice. Interesting.
You also hear a part of the festival that's going to be brought to... Oh, I should probably switch the fucking music because you're in a bar. My bad.
This mystic, magical music while there's just a party going on.
So, as the party begins to amp up a little bit, what was I just about to say?
I have no idea.
I mentioned something I can't remember now. Never mind.
You mentioned it's a solstice, and I don't
Yeah,
remember what
solstice,
you
yeah.
said after
So I was
that.
gonna say something else, but then I forgot about it, so never mind. I guess not important.
I
Probably was, but I
apologize.
can't remember.
It goes in one ear, out the other half the time.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. You also do hear information about the festival. There is going to be a not indoctrination, but an entrance into the Celis Cathedral to a few children and other individuals that have proven themselves and paid to take a test to enter into the what's it called? The cathedral itself, the religion. However, it is not being run by the Holy Maiden's Chamber this time. And the Holy Maiden's Chamber, I call it the Chamber, but the Chamber of the Holy Maiden, but it's just another kind of off-branch of the Celis religion that worships more the Holy Maiden than Celis to an extent. They were supposed to do the fire, what are they called? You know, the things that explode in the sky? Fireworks.
Fireworks?
Yeah, they were supposed to do the fireworks show, but they decided not to this year. They seem to be doing a different thing on the second day of the festival.
Certainly interesting.
There's also an attack at the cathedral the day previous. However, that's all the information you garner from a little bit of sitting down. Because you have a fucking 21 passive perception. Fucking hell. Meanwhile, CJ, the information you gain from the merchant is that strange trees and events have been... strange trees of twisted blue knotted wood have been appearing within Durath in certain places. A war has begun. Again, a civil war has continued. However, a new third party has entered. It's called the Jaggerbredian Alliance. It's a bunch of city-states that are tired of the war between the what is it called? The Hydra Alliance and the Empire, and are stating themselves as free states. And should the Empire or Hydra Alliance try to take them, there is an alliance between Jaggerbret, Bredy, which is two southwestern states of the kingdom, as well as it's believed Castletown Liute has joined the alliance after the death of its previous mayor king to an extent, and Riverton has Riverton has currently closed its borders because it is looking for the best survival of its people, and they are speaking to the Jaggerbredian Alliance, so it's believed that they will join them soon. You also get the information that there is currently a civil war within the what is it called? The place
Valley?
Dust Valley. The Tundra's Lachey also is what it's called too. Well, it was before the Empire formed. The houses of Dust Valley Valley, who used to control the entirety of Dust Valley to an extent, have joined forces with a brigade brought to the valley by the individual known as Baronet Ryan Farrow, one of the newest nobles of the Empire, as well as one of the children of the recently deceased leader of the valley, known as... What the fuck is your character's father's name?
Don't. I think we gave him Scar Silverborn or something.
No,
or
it's
Silverton.
not that. It's Silverton is the last name. I'm looking for the name of your father to an extent.
I don't think we ever did a first name.
We did. I'm just looking for it really quickly. It's up here quite... It's far fucking up. That's why I don't remember it.
It's been a while since we did the Silvertons.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I remember Craig, my
It's
brother.
Varvac Silverton, who was slain in Renil by assassins. His son, Advar, has advocated back to... he has moved back to Dust Valley, and with the help of Ryan Farrow, the Baronet of the Golden Ravine, has started to build an army with his small battalion to take back Dust Valley's main capital from his brother, Craig Silverton, who has now been crowned the leader of Dust Valley and has declared war against the Empire, joining the Hydra Alliance. Also joining the people of, where is it called? Who declared their allegiance to the Hydra Alliance, Borrington, the Duchy of Borrington. So there's a lot of people going against the Empire, and your brother has gone against the Empire himself, declaring war after your father was killed.
So, I'm assuming I'm learning this from the man I'm carrying the ale for.
Yeah. He's mentioning all this stuff because you're a human. He's like, did you hear about this stuff? And by the way, the masters, or the houses of Dust Valley, have existed there for quite a long time. They have a lot more sway than the Silvertons did. So, them building an army against Craig Silverton is good and bad in ways, politically.
I mean, from what I understood the last time I was there, the Craig Silverton fellow was not exactly fit to rule, despite the fact that he passed the trials.
It's believed that they're calling him the Insane King.
And I did run into that Advar fellow once or twice during travel.
I did too. He was an interesting fellow. They're saying, however, funny enough, that the Insane King is being psychically controlled or something from the shadows by an unknown source. Some people believe it's his sister, but that's just hogwash. She's a nice girl. Anyways, thank you for helping me carry this ale in, and you guys push through the door. That's the information you get.
Yeah. You said, how is the state of Riverton again? I know you mentioned they joined the Alliance. I have family around that area.
Well, they're looking to join they're looking to join the best side they believe has the best chance of helping their people. So they're looking to join the Jagabrettian Alliance, or in the talks of looking at it. Funny enough, actually, it's rumored that the previous queen, fuck, I might have to go all the way down in my NPC list now. I'm over here like, it should be up a little bit more, I believe. Let me check, up a little bit more. That's cow. Yeah, I have to go up a shit ton, sorry. Let's see, it should be above this, I believe. Previous queen and king. Oh, I'm too far up. Okay.
I figured that might be the case.
Yeah. What were their fucking names? I know I have it somewhere here. Captain Stormbreaker is not it. Verda. Ceron. The Liet family. Jeff. Nope, above this. Okay, so the Queen Karil Durath of the 10th Bloodline, the previous king Saril's wife, has been said to be one of the leaders of the Jagabrettian Alliance, but she died like 30 years ago, so that can't be possible. But there are rumors going around about that. well as about a group that's joined up with them and brought an individual. I believe her name was. Fuck! I can't remember names at this point. I have so many fucking names. Let me just open my companion apps because I know it's in there.
Keegan and them were escorting.
Sella Mayrick. She, the previous individual of the Hydra Alliance staying within the Council of the King, has absconded to the Jagabrettian Alliance to protection. Having forsworn the Hydra Alliance as well.
That would make sense. I leave to get away from the war, and then I find out there's a bunch more wars going on.
Well, yes, Durath is in quite a bit of turmoil. In fact, I have a few accomplices who state that it may have something to do with Horacles' involvement. Trying to destabilize one of the more prominent countries that could supply in the war against him. In fact, it's already been proven that he has some sway in government. Remember here, well, you probably don't remember, a few months back, about 9 months, the court mage of this place was found out to be a risen member of his legion, who had started the war with Durath a few years ago, who had mentioned that we should start one, and then turns out he's a member of Horacles' legion, so he absconded and was a member that helped in the killing of the crown prince less than a year ago.
Interesting. I suppose when I'm done with my ordeals here, I should go back home and check on my family.
I hear the Cold King has declared martial law in some places recently. A lot of executions have been taking place. That's why I got out of there and came to this festival. Anyways, thank you for helping me, and he opens the door for you as you bring this large barrel of beer back into the place. Anyways, next person. Elrin. Shadowy.
Hello.
As you enter and you look around frantically, you feel this pull towards the staircase that leads upstairs.
Alright.
The pool seems to be approaching.
Sorry, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Cast Detect Magic?
Just to see if it shows up in Detect Magic to pull.
As you cast Detect Magic, there's a bit of magic around you, so you need to focus, and as you do focus, that pool seems to split in 3 more ways. Sorry, hold up. Yeah, 3 more ways. 1 towards the bar, 1 towards the door, and 1 directly about, maybe near the door as well, but a little bit inwards more, towards the edge of the room. And as you cast Detect Magic, you feel this strange tether. And you see this small psychic line that seems to be connecting up the stairs, and it seems to be getting a little bit more slack, as if something's approaching you. Or approaching the stairs bottoms.
Alright. Then, as this is going on, seeing as there was... yeah, it split 3 ways, but then again, there's this main tether. Right.
Yes.
Alright. So there's the bar, the door, and... oh, sorry, it's that room. I just need to drink something.
As you look around towards the extra other tethers, you notice Plant Woman. You notice walking in, the human that you saw go up to the bar and help another human bringing in a large barrel of alcohol. And you notice a strange man slinking to, not the shadows, but the edge of the room, trying to stay hidden as he seems to be also staring at you and other individuals in the room.
Wait a minute. On my last visit here, would I recognize any of these people?
No. Well, you do recognize Shardstone, actually, as he seems to be bringing the barrel in.
Yeah, so one of Tatriel's compatriots.
Yes.
Alright. But, I guess with that in mind, perhaps, considering our first meeting was a bit hostile, I'm thinking perhaps I should talk to the... Actually, I'll talk to the shadier guy, looking guy first.
Alright, so... Sue!
Yes?
This human mage who's frantically looking around just stares at you deadpan and starts to make his way towards you.
Did I order a meal in the meantime?
Did you want to?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
It would just be like basic soup and some bread and a glass of regular ale from the tap or whatever it is considered.
That's gonna cost you about 5 silver.
All right, I would hand him a gold and get 5 silver back.
Okay.
Is there something you need?
As the man approaches you too.
Oh, not much, sir. I was just, well, I guess to be blunt, how attuned are you to magic?
I am not.
I guess that would explain this partially. But I seem to have felt some sort of pull towards you.
To this point,
As
you guys are talking, investigator,
Mm-hmm.
your keen eye notices the kitsune. Well, the elven shape of the kitsune that you saw. That currently you've been investigating to an extent, walking down the stairs.
I'm gonna just sort of turn slightly in my chair so that my face isn't directly towards the stairs, so that I can try and hide myself from them.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
All right.
Ruby, what's your perception bonus?
I have a passive perception of 20.
I'll give you a +2 extra because there's a lot of people in the bar now at this point. Not you,
Alright.
not you, Ruby. But,
Oh, never mind then.
I have a +12 to stealth. That makes it a +14 because you gave me a bonus. 32.
Alright, Ruby doesn't notice you to your knowledge.
Is there something that I can assist you with then? As I continue talking to this mage.
I guess I'm gonna look around the room again, considering the other tethers, to keep track of them.
You see the main one has now is now moving towards this elf.
Interesting. I recognize this elf from anywhere.
No.
Ah,
Actually, no. You were
yes.
in that form when you were with Tatriella, right?
Yes, I was.
You do recognize the elf to an extent. She was one of the people at the table. She doesn't stand out to the crowd to an extent. But you do recognize her.
Well, sir, considering that I was pulled to you from what seems to be magic, I'm not sure how much we truly have to talk about. So, considering that, I guess I should explain. I guess I should simply explain myself a bit further. There was a pulse earlier of magic, and after it hit me, I seem to have been drawn to this inn. And when I got here, I was drawn to several people, such as there are several people here. I was also drawn to. I simply decided to to ask you first, as you seem to be more aware than the others.
That would likely be due to my particular set of skills, which are not something that you need to know.
Okay. I guess secretive man, I don't blame you. However, I guess with that in mind, I'll ask you one thing. Is there anything going on in this establishment that you find odd since you've been here?
Have I noticed anything strange in relation to the Syndicate having spies in this bar?
Roll me either an underworld lore check or a perception check.
I'll roll lore underworld.
Okay.
15.
15. Now that you're looking around, you know that this bar does have connection to the underworld to an extent. You're not sure how much to the Syndicate. You do know that the Syndicate has gained more ground since Morgan. I think that was his name.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, since Morgan disappeared. And you do know that this was Morgan's territory. You don't know how much they've taken over this territory.
Currently, no, I don't notice anything particularly strange.
Well, I guess that's somewhat good. At the very least, we seem safe at the moment. But where are my
You
manners?
are safe.
Oh. Then I guess at the very least, I should introduce myself. Elsine. Elsine Mirak.
Well then, Elsine, it certainly has been a pleasure meeting you. You can call me Vander.
Vander. Alright, I won't inquire any further. But, alright, Vander, if I find anything strange in this establishment, I'll let you know. I have a feeling that I was drawn to you for a reason.
Very well then. Should
Alright.
anything particularly strange arise, perhaps we could rely on each other in that moment of need.
Well, it's good to hear. Elsine smiles and he gets up to look for his other marks.
Okay. You notice the elf leaves the establishment.
Alright, I decide to go after her since she seems to be the one that's getting away.
Goron,
Yeah.
you feel this strange tug at the back of your head, and as you turn around, you see one individual leave the bar, and an individual start to hurry up after them. Shade, you watch as the elven form of Ruby, one of your compatriots, starts to leave the bar. And someone starts to follow her. And I will say this, Investigator, you watch as your target, your mark, starts to leave the bar.
Noticing that someone is following Ruby and not sure of the context, I am also going to follow Ruby, following them, following Ruby.
Okay?
I can sort of see the train of people starting to leave the bar, right?
Yeah.
These three.
Yes.
All right. I will sort of keep those three in mind because the two of them are sort of in tandem following someone that I know. But since the person that I know and probably don't want to associate too much with is leaving, I'm going to take this chance to go up to the barkeep and ask for Bill.
The orc looks to you. Bill?
In that case, could you hand on a message for me?
He looks at you for a second.
I see, this train of people. Well, simply being curious about why, there's a train of people. Decide I'll follow.
Okay. As you ask Bill, he looks at you as he watches the Goron start to leave, and no one else is paying attention. He goes, "You need to deliver a message or a message?"
I'm going to start pulling out the papers, keeping them face down. A message, if you will. And as I place them on the counter and slide them towards him, I'm going to put a platinum that I've been paid with as well, just to make sure that he keeps his mouth shut.
He takes it and puts it underneath the bar for a second. He goes, "Understood. Your friend will be very pleased."
Certainly, I hope that this message reaches their ears in good faith.
Of course. And he seems to pull out a small bottle of elven wine and hands it to you.
I thank you for your assistance in this matter. I will enjoy this at my home.
Of course. If
And
you
with
need
that-
a room, let me. He also pulls out a room key and he goes, "If you need a place to stay for the night," and he slides you a room key.
I will take this room key and sort of place it in my bag, thanking him for this matter, and follow the train.
He nods and watches you leave. Now, as we stay in the bar, as we see the train leave, we watch as Bill reaches down, looks at the papers, looks around, looks towards his daughter and goes, "Handle the bar," and he begins to walk out of the bar, where we now see his legs are very toned and muscular, as he starts to leave up the staircase. As he does so, okay, we watch 10 seconds after he starts to head up the staircase. There's a shimmer in the air. Anyways, we go to the
Anyways,
train.
I am dead.
We go to the train.
Yes. I
So,
guess I follow the flower who's following
Ruby,
someone who's following the human who's following the someone
Ruby,
else.
Roll me.
Yeah?
Roll me. Oh no, sorry. I would say this. Shadowy. Roll me a stealth check.
I'm not trying to be particularly stealthy.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. So as you're walking, Shane, roll me a stealth check.
Shane is not being stealthy. He is
Okay, never mind.
actively following Ruby and the Goblin.
Goron, roll me a stealth check.
Alright.
Imagine if no one was being stealthy. It would have been the
Oh,
most
no,
ironic thing.
It would be.
He is admittedly a little bit nosy. He likes some good gossip, shall we say.
Shane just wants to flat out let this person know they're behind him and don't
They
try
keep-
anything.
What'd you roll?
That is a 9.
Okay.
Okay, I see it.
Soup, roll me a stealth check.
All right. Do I get a bonus for the other people
I'm
not
giving
being
you a
stealthy?
bonus, yes.
All
I'm gonna
right.
give you a +5 bonus to this.
I
Alright.
expected a +3 per person not stealthing.
Congo.
All right. So +5 total on top of my +12 makes it a +17.
Hmm.
I swear
That's
to
a
you-
36.
Alright, so you're stealthing, and you watch as the Goron is just, like, munching on some popcorn. She's just following, and you could hear, like, she's not even... It looks like she's, like, bending down to try and be stealthy and watch, and she, like, gets behind a garbage can and it falls over. She starts to step over towards another area, and she steps on the cat's tail, and starts to run away. She thinks she's being stealthy, but everyone, like, Shane looks back, and she seems to hide behind a wall, and Shane, you obviously see her. Ruby, you look back and see the conga train of people behind you and see the Goron hide.
Hello, ma'am.
I'm just going to go. We can see you, plant.
Ah, well. Never can hide with these orbs.
So
Come on,
as
sir.
Elsign's looking around, he's noticing, wait a minute.
The plant is moving, and all you're hearing is...
Stepping on a cat tail doesn't help.
The thick and the clap of my plant ass cheeks are alerting the people in front of me.
I'm trying to hide, but the clap of my planty viney ass cheeks is alerting the entire city.
Oh, that's
The clap of your
being
wooden
Clap
ass
my
cheeks is
chlorophyll
alerting the city.
said. Now that's being said, as I look at the mage, can you calmly explain to me why you're following my friend?
Well, personally, I did want to get her attention, as, well, in fact, Shane, was it?
Mind you, you're good like 500 feet from the bar at this point. The air is nice and breezy. The light is a little bit different in color, as you can see the oranges and purples striations in the aurora borealis above you. It's a nice clear night.
Oh.
Yes, but how did you get that?
Well, I guess I should give you a little story. How long ago was the pulse?
I'd say about an hour ago. And at that point,
About
on
an
the
hour.
on the dot, at the hour mark,
About
as you're like,
hour
as you're
ago.
like, as you're like an hour ago, and thinking about that, as you say that, you feel another, all of you feel another pulse.
Is it coming from
Oh.
a direction?
No.
Okay.
Strange.
I am going to hurry on my way.
It's coming from the 5th dimension.
Strange.
ma'am,
I just wanted
I do
to
need
feel
to ask,
something.
was going to ask you about...
Actually, Soup, roll me an Arcana check.
All right. I assume no bonus because I'm not magically attuned.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm not a mage anyway. I have a +13 to this because of proficiency.
Motherfucker's
You're not a
like,
mage,
I'm not
but you have a-
magically attuned.
But I have a
It's
plus
an intelligent
13!
skill. I know about magic. I do not know how to do magic. That's a 23, by the way.
23. You watch as Ruby seems, her fur seems to stand up on her back first, and then you watch as the mage seems to shake. You watch as Shane seems to like stiffen up for a second, and these are all unconscious reactions, subconscious reactions. They don't notice it. Then you watch as the Goron seems to like frill out a little bit, and then you feel the pulse hit you. You get the feeling it's coming from the center of town.
plant go floof.
Yeah. A little bit of pollen.
Okay. will
I am still
go
in
back.
elf mode.
I know. Sorry. The elf seems to shiver a bit.
So, what were you asking, Mage?
Well, I was going to ask your friend, Invert, I believe her name was. I simply wanted to ask what, if anything, in particular was happening. Seeing as after that pulse an hour ago, I was drawn to the mage's respite. And when I arrived, I seemed to be drawn to you, the plant woman, another individual, a man named Vander, and I seem to be drawn to Invert as well.
God, Mother. Oh my God, Mother. Give me a second.
I will have you know I do have a name, and I would prefer to be called by it. My name is Petra.
Alright, Petra. Very well.
Petra. Petra the plant. Got it.
I'll be back in 20 minutes because I apparently have to go pick up food now. If you guys want to role play or take a break, that's fine.
I'm gonna have to get going soon now, like less than a half an hour.
Alright, you guys can continue to role play then if you want. I gotta be going to get something, I guess.
Alright. So,
Yep, I'm just making myself some food, then going to go to the
Well,
bathroom
I-
and continue Monster Hunter.
I can't, since Goblin's leaving, I can't ask them what to roll to see if I know the plant folk.
so seeing Petra, I'm actually gonna ask. So, Shane, did you notice anything odd at the Mage's Respite? Since I was drawn to you as well.
Not really. I'm not magically attuned. The only thing I seem to have that might be magically related is my acid spit. Although that seems to be more inherited.
Yes, that's what I could see. Though it doesn't. That's the thing. The individual Vander I was drawn to, he wasn't magically skilled from what I asked of him. To be fair, he could be lying to me. But I'm thinking this is more of some kind of. Well, it seems to be a bit different. It's more of a psychic link that's drawing me towards you. I don't think you felt drawn towards me in particular, did you?
Not really.
Yeah, so I believe this might be more due to my attunement to magic. I'm being drawn to you for some reason. I'm simply trying to discern whatever that reason may be that I'm being drawn to you. Perhaps it's some force trying to tell me something.
I don't
I'm
know what
unsure.
to tell you there. Perhaps
You just make a Star Wars reference.
Perhaps the magical Kitsune would know a lot more about that than me.
Yes, in fact.
I don't even plan to be here that long. Probably about another month, if that, and I gotta go back to the raft to check on my fam, or check on friends.
Okay.
We'll
Well,
say
I
that.
guess that's good to know. So then, Invert. Did you notice anything strange?
What was that?
I was just wondering if you noticed anything strange at the Mage's Respite.
No. Couple odd-looking individuals, but nothing else out of the ordinary.
Well, at that place, I'm quite certain being odd, an odd-looking individual is quite ordinary.
Was this one magical event, but I'm afraid if I mention it again, it will hurt my compatriot.
Oh yes, that.
Because the last time I tried mentioning it back, I'm the only one that seems to remember it for some reason. And if I mention it again, like I said, pain will involve my compatriots. I will
Yes.
say this, I don't think this would get them hurt, but one of them the thing that happened took one of our automaton friends left with it.
Yes, the one who shall not be named.
And then one tried to blow up.
Alright.
I may ask, what are you referring to? I do not quite. I was not around here for very long.
Well, Petra, there was an incident at the Mage's Respite about... Actually, yeah, it was probably about a
About
couple
a
hours
day
ago.
ago. Yeah.
About a day ago.
And apparently most of the people other than me have forgotten about it. And anytime I mention it to them, their brains end up getting hurt.
You see Elsign just looking up at you, his eyes lidded, like, really?
Quite interesting.
Petra, I'm curious, what... Oh, actually, to be fair, the festival is going on. That's a bit of a silly question.
All different types of people came here because of the festival. That's part of the reason I came here.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, I'm here because of that as well.
But I did feel drawn to you as well. Is there any... Did you notice anything strange at the Aegis Respite bit?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
People were partying, which is nothing new. Drinking,
More or
nothing
less.
new.
Yes, actually, I should ask you another thing. With the pulse, that was the recent pulse, did you notice anything? Did you feel anything?
I did, in fact, feel something. I wasn't entirely sure what it was, however.
Shane?
That I'm aware of. Again, magic is kind of their life energy. Oh, life energy, but I don't know exactly what that turns to here.
Alright,
Then-
Invert, did you notice anything with the pulse that occurred about 30 seconds ago?
And I don't feel like relaying too much information since I hardly know you.
Besides feeling it, no. Though the one that was about an hour ago, I did do a few things relating to it, which I believe has helped me locate the source. Specifically, somewhere on the tree near the center of the island.
On the tree.
Yes, I was going to go check around the base, and then possibly search throughout the tree.
Oh. Well.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
So that's why you were heading out then.
Yes.
Oh gods. I have a question. How prepared are you all? Are you all well rested?
Certainly.
Pretty well rested. I could swing a few fists, though, if need be.
Alright.
I've definitely got my...
You
Up
asking
and-
me that question is making me wondering what you know.
Well, I'm simply assuming that with these pulses of magical power coming from the... Oh, let's think. These tend to be like a disturbance from a ley line, a pulse from a ley line. They tend to not be this powerful, though in the recent, like, year, there's been a powerful one every month or so. So with how frequent they are this day, I'm curious that if they're coming from the tree, what's causing the unusual
The
activity?
tree itself grew to that height and large. Well, the tree is that large because it is on a nexus of ley lines, I believe.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Though, I will say the reason I am concerned is, well, if we're going to investigate whatever's causing the problem, I have a distinct feeling the problem could be caused by something dangerous, to put it lightly.
What if it's just a problem with or what if it's just natural with the tree?
Well, still, in that case, I can't really bet on that. And even then, it could be dangerous, considering how powerful the magic that's that's pulsing out is.
Yeah, from the time there have been weird stuff going on lately, though. On top of what I told you about at that inn, I arrived here to see a robot being taken away by somebody. A different robot.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
Well, Petra, I guess I want to ask you, are you particularly skilled in combat?
If you mean, can I cause someone to burn until they are dead? Yes.
I guess that works.
So you
Well.
might not want to get burnt because you're probably level up, I'm guessing.
It
River up.
can cause me some damage, yes, but it's not as if plant matter cannot grow.
Hmm.
Alright.
Besides, I've learned a way to.
Technically was going to catch some sleep tonight. 'Cause it is
I've learned a
getting
way
later.
to wrap my fist in fire and be able to launch it that way. Quite
Yes,
an entertaining
though.
trick.
Being armed won't be a problem for me or for most of you either, as I swing open my cloak to reveal quite the collection of weaponry.
Oh,
I do not require
is
that.
all I need is these as I show my fist in a smoking gun pose, and occasionally this thing on my battle axe on my back, though I rarely use it.
Oh,
Huh?
if I cannot simply cast a spell, and she flicks her hand, and you see a large thorn protrude from her palm. I have these as well. if need be.
Well,
She puts her
none of
hand
those
down and
are quite.
seems to
Well,
disappear.
all of those are certainly more impressive. Minus your fists against my weapons.
You underestimate martial arts.
Oh, I assure you, I do not, considering I do make use of them when I am unarmed. Though I really wish my claws would grow in. Wait, no, never mind. Retcon that.
You
Oh god.
you probably don't even know any of the stances that could actually help you in combat.
Not a monk's stance, no. I only know some boxing and some mixed martial arts.
Hmm.
Couple of throws and grapples as well.
That's what I particularly specialize in. Along with the mountain stance, the dragon stance, and what's the other one? Mountain stance, dragon stance. Oh yeah, that's it. The sim-
Well, at least my instincts will help me at the least.
And at the very least, I can fight some strong. Maybe when I'm roaming around here, I can run into some strong, interesting people to fight. Ran into one guy earlier, but he seemed like that he might be out of my league. He was working for a weird group called a syndicate.
Ah, them. Yes.
At least he claimed he was. But I've also seen thugs put names up as syndicates to try to make themselves look tougher so you don't touch them.
No, none of the, well, criminals here would lie like that.
And what exactly makes you so certain of that?
You'd be shocked how many criminals lie. You clearly have not bothered or haven't ran into as many as I have.
I've run into enough to know that
I was
they are
assuming that
also
would be the
quite flammable.
default for criminals.
Well, the syndicate does not take well to copycats. I did learn this when helping one certain fellow.
Well, in that case, do any of you have some theories as to what you think might be the cause of the ley line disturbance? Just throwing some ideas around.
I wouldn't know.
Well, there are, the way I see it, there's a couple things. One, there could be some kind of foul, corrupting influence. Perhaps some kind of monster snuck in. Or perhaps there is some natural disaster that's beginning to occur.
I don't know that. Wouldn't know too much about that, unfortunately. And out of character, I'm gonna have to go.
Alright,
Yep, see ya.
I'm gonna get some.
Yeah. This music sounds like it would fit in Monster Hunter Rise so well.
What would?
This music.
Ah, I don't have the music turned on.
Ah.
Yeah, this would be village music.
Yeah. My thoughts. Also, Soup, and I am sorry, but Invert does still have a grudge against your character for selling your stuff.
Yeah, I know, which is why I'm fucking hiding.
Don't worry, she ain't gonna punt you to the moon.
He doesn't know that.
Beat you within an... Yes, he does. She literally said that she was gonna beat him to within an inch of his life,
That sounds like
but not
being
kill
kicked to the
him.
moon. That sounds like being kicked to the moon.
Oh no, she was putting on her knuckle dusters, which do have the non-lethal property,
Yes, I
so...
know. You said that out of character, but I don't know that.
Yeah, bro, Vander be like.
Oh no, she
Rob
said that
Hive.
in character after saving you from the syndicate.
By the way, you do understand why I gave you a false name, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It's a pretty. But I'm assuming he's talking to me.
Yes.
But yeah, I know why you said Vander. I think even in character, else I'm thinking, okay, this is probably a false name. But okay, I'll go with it. I get it.
I kind of just thought that up sort of at the last minute because, yes, I knew I was going to need a false name if I was going to introduce myself again. But then again, his last name is Vinegon, so I just ran with that, with a V.
But
I ran with a V sounding last name.
oh my god, I found the most adorable fan Pokemon of all time.
What is it?
Well, we have a baby form of Doduo called Doduno. We have a baby form of Onyx called Minix. Baby form of Lappy called Lappy. And a baby form of Tropius called Tropic. I'm gonna post it in memes. Give me a sec. After I figure out what my coin supply is. I just realized I said that in the recording. Fuck. Alright, let's see. Memes. Post the thingy. There you go. I'm not bothering to crop it. Fuck you.
I see.
Doduno is just a puffball.
I know, it's adorable, isn't it?
It's just a pom-pom. A pom-pom with a stick, two little beady eyes, and twigs for legs.
Isn't it adorable?
Yes, it is quite cute.
I
Where
just want to
did you
sleep in
send
a
it?
bed of like 6 billion different Dodunos.
Where is it?
It's in memes
In
under
memes.
text channels. Although you did pull this for my funny.
Fuck off.
Well, at least your last fuck ain't on fire.
At least he has a last fuck to give.
Petra does not-
Gelatinous cube? No. Dungeon Roomba. Thank you for that one.
I know gelatinous cubes are normally seen in dungeons, but apparently so are black puddings, which are actually canonically known as dungeon cleaners.
That's
So if a
fun.
dungeon is suspiciously clean, it's not because of gelatinous cube, it's because of black puddings.
Oh, Bussy Boy, what your post? Oh wait, Bussy Boy ain't here, never mind.
Yeah, Bus Boy ain't here. Thank God.
Oh, we'd probably be in some horrifically deadly combat at this point. If he was.
Yep. Fluffy!
Or the universe
Linux,
would be torn apart.
Trumpet! Don't do no! Also, let me look through my memes, see what I got. Genshin meme, yes!
I don't get it.
It's Genshin. It's funny because it's Genshin.
If you choose to play as Aether, Lumine is on the enemy team, and that is essentially saying that he takes so long to do shit that she became a minor character in an anime. Also, did I post this yet?
Bro, you guys are just having a podcast without me here?
Yes, we have
Yeah.
that podcast without you. Oh,
Yes,
and,
we are.
And Cougar left because he had to do stuff.
Yeah, I know. Mexican food.
Ah,
fucking delicious.
that's an ancient one.
So, do you guys roleplay a little bit while I was gone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
we did actually.
Invert decided to share something very nice with the class, that the pulse was originating from the tree.
She didn't know that.
What she believed it was originating from the tree.
It's just one fucked up burrito, but man, it's good.
One cannot screw up a burrito. If they screw up a
Yep.
burrito, you just have a taco.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of
But
like
once
how
you
you
screw
can't
up a
screw up
taco-
making an omelet because then you just have scrambled eggs.
Yep.
I put too much beans and rice in this burrito, so it didn't fold properly.
I just had a dang turkey and cheese sandwich.
I always put too much lettuce in my wraps.
I had fucking tortellini.
Tortellini's good.
I've never had.
You never had tortellini?
I have not.
It's fucking
I want
good
to,
for
though.
pasta. Especially if you get like meat tortellini.
Oh yeah.
Are those like the tubes?
No,
you're
the
thinking of
tubes
rotini.
are the tubes are penne.
I love penne.
Yeah.
Tortellini is like
the good penne
if you
is
combine a
Philly
dumpling
penne
and
rigate,
ravioli.
because
Oh,
that
so
one has
it's like ravioli.
Yeah,
Oh, I've had that.
it's like
before.
ravioli but folded like a dumpling.
I prefer penne. You know, it's just my
Yeah, but-
it's just my Italian blood, you know, because of my big ass fucking nose.
Yes, but you also have to make sure it's penne rigate because I think that's the one with the grooves on the outside. If you get
What did you just say to me, you Japanese little son of a bitch?
you're Italian, you should know what penne rigate is.
I don't. I literally do. I'm adopted, so I don't know anything about my heritage, man.
There are two kinds of penne. You
I
got
know
the penne
Greek.
with grooves, and there's penne that's flat.
No, but
You never get the flat penne.
You don't understand about my joke. You said penne agate, and I was like, what did you say to me, you fucking Japanese fuck? Because I thought you said penne or agate or something. I was like, what?
But I
It's
got
penne
those probably
rigate.
what we were making.
Yeah, I'm American, okay? Fuck you.
So am I.
I'm American as well.
You must be one of those woke air kids.
I know for a fact that like all of you live in the States. We know for a fact that Schmuck lives somewhere in California.
And I'm not woke.
I live
You
in
know that-
Ohio, unironically.
Yeah, we
That
got
doesn't
some
exist.
from California,
Anyways,
some from Ohio.
let's finish
blah,
this
blah, blah,
podcast,
blah.
okay?
Yes.
So, as your group has been role-playing, heading towards the tree, speaking about the many theories you may have, as I believe the investigator was hiding behind the scenes, correct? He didn't pop out?
No, he did not pop out. He was hiding with I believe it was like a 36 or 37 to stealth.
Yeah. No one sees you. Did Cougar say what his character's doing, or is he just following you?
He's just following us.
Alright, so, Cougar's character, Shane, goes, well, if you feel safe then, Invert, I'll be heading back to the inn. I got some stuff I gotta put away. Hello? Invert? Hello?
Shane, I'm not sure. I think the magic may have fried our brain. If you have
Ruby.
something to finish...
Hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah, I was actually saying that for a little while.
What are you saying?
I was trying to see if you were hearing me for a while.
No, I couldn't. Anyway, so Shane told you that he's gonna head back to the inn if you feel safe. Ruby?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ, Ruby.
Give me a second.
There's no way you're not muting yourself.
Probably just has something to do with his connections.
Bro, the second burrito I made, though, fucking rolled like a joint.
I just come back.
Rolled like a joint.
I'm here.
Alright, well. Let me know if you find anything interesting. And he just walks away. So, as Shane leaves the group at the moment, you begin to make your way further into the city, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You eventually start to come upon the area where the buildings start to get more spaced, which means you're getting closer to the center of the city. As you do, does anybody here have a passive perception of 22 or higher?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
I think there's only... Oh.
So, as you guys continue to move through, the night's beautiful. It takes you about an hour to get here, and upon the hour, you feel the same pulse.
Another pulse.
I'm assuming it feels stronger.
No. Feels the same. You get to where the buildings seem to part ways a bit, and you see the center of the city, which is about a good 200, 300 foot range circled around the tree, that goes to the edge, which then is 30 feet to the tree, is mostly plain tiled stone floors. These stone floors have a few statues, a few, what are they called? Fountains, and a few trees, and the city is filled with wildlife such as vegetation such as trees, grass, and stuff, but there are more trees, grass, and waterworks and statues around this area. You see one building in this area to the south, which you're approaching from the south of this area, mind you. You see this large temple-like shape with the shape of a crescent moon on it, which you recognize as the chapel of Celis. Not the cathedral. The cathedral is much more prominent. It has a Victorian-era build to it, and it seems to have one bell tower with a large build behind it. Multiple stained glass windows as well. Mostly white and blue, and as the moons are out, you can see the white moon is more prevalent, and as it is, you can see it glows through the... Actually, technically it's the last... so the white moon is more prevalent. As it glows down upon the skyline, you can see the glass itself seems to almost reflect this and give this white light. As you guys step into this thoroughfare, you see nobody here. There's a bit of wind. But after that pulse, the wind seems to have stopped. And as you look around, anybody have a passive perception of 20 or higher?
Yes.
Alright, those with the passive perception of 20 or higher, you notice what seems to be a bug, not firefly, but what are those, like, fire dragons or whatever they're called? The flying, like, bugs with, like, long bodies.
Dragonflies.
Dragonflies, there you go. This dragonfly that's flying right next to you seems to be stopping in midair, its wings stopping, flying, and then it continues and stops, continues and stops, and then it continues. After the pulse happens.
Interesting.
Considering that this area seems a bit odd, Elsine's actually going to try looking around after casting guidance on himself.
Alright, make me a perception check.
Okay, with the guidance, that's a +1 bonus. So, that would be... That's a 24.
24. Elsine. There's a chill that runs down your spine as you're in this area. You don't know what is causing it. But you do know what's causing your frights, your conscious fright. As you look past the tree, you can see the ever-present Mages Guild, the Mages School in the distance. And you realize why the skyline looked different now. The Mages Guild is a good 500 or so feet down from where it originally floats. As if it fell a bit. But it seems to still be floating.
Oh.
You see the central tower, the points where you can see the rings go in, the bridges that lead up to the central tower seem to be at an angle upwards, as if the stone is bending, instead of the normal straight. Which is weird, because many of the bridges you took seemed straight to you. You get the feeling it's more of a magical effect on the inside to stop that from happening. But you also notice something else. As you stare at the tower in the distance, you swear on one of the metal precipices, there's this bismuth sheen. Anyways, and then as you blink your eyes, it's gone for... It's only there for a moment. Anyways,
So, think... Alright.
so... What's going on?
Ladies. I want you to look over there, to the Mage's Tower. Do you notice anything odd about it?
I quite tell. Something is
There's certainly something odd.
Elsine hasn't
what?
noticed it, but as you guys are looking at Elsine as he says this, you can see magical sparks of arcane energy bouncing off and back onto his body at different parts of him.
Well, I can see some magical sparks around you, but beyond that, I can't quite place what is odd.
Elsine, as they say that, you look down, and what color is your magic?
Well, what color would it be?
Yeah.
Well, considering my attunement, I'd assume green.
As his green energy arcs off of you and back on, you feel less control of the mana that's pushing out of your body, causing this.
Well, having a hard time seeing what I was looking at. It seems that the Mages Guild has sunk. It's at a lower altitude, and the tower seems to have been bending.
Yes, I agree.
Ruby, what's your passive perception?
20 flat.
Alright, does anybody have a 21 or higher?
I do. I have a 21.
Alright, V, what is your nature bonus?
Oh fuck yes! I've been waiting ages to have something from like. No, I'm kidding. I've actually been. 13.
13. That plus 13.
That is a plus 13.
As you look at the tree, and try to look past to the strange Mages Guild, which you can't really see at this point, you see the tree, and you feel this strange hum coming from it. Being attuned to nature, you feel this strange connection, and you hear almost the tree outputting something. And as you look at it, you notice there's this very faint, dimly enough that you didn't notice it at first, arcane sheen around the tree.
Question.
Go ahead.
It's gonna sound dumb, but is the tree a plant that is capable of flowering?
You can see parts of the tree that's. I'll say this: from your look at the tree multiple times because you've been here for a little bit, the tree can produce fruit. Yes.
Excellent. I'm going to go up to the tree and speak with it.
The tree is a good 30 feet off a cliff edge.
Well, I'm going to go towards the cliff edge, and I figure, I can be heard 30 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I was wondering if you could... Sorry, you said what's surrounding this tree again? God damn it, why is my brain not working?
There's a small wall about 30 feet from the tree, and then there's just a complete drop, thousands of feet down. And that's to the ground below you, because you're on a floating island nestled in the clouds. Yeah. The tree shoots all the way down to the ground, by the way.
And why was I drawn to this tree again?
What the fuck?
I know, okay? Because what you're saying is not quite making sense to me, man.
You felt this strange, almost... How do I say... This strange energy pulse out of it as if it's trying to connect to your mind or connect to something, say something, but it doesn't have the capacity to say anything. And you felt this arcane energy, this sheen around the tree that was not visible to anybody.
Well, luckily for me, I have the ancestry speak with flowers. So, I am...
Let me check that really quickly because... let's see. What is that? You said it's an...
Speak with flowers. It's an ancestry feat.
Ancestry
for the Goron.
Goron speak with flowers. I just need to check it out real quick.
With little effort, I can speak to my kindred. I can ask questions of, receive answers from, and use the diplomacy skill with flowering plants of all types. I went for this over ancient memories of all things.
You're right, it's a flowering plant, technically. Alright, so, as you look towards it...
I didn't think I'd utilize this so quickly!
It's a good thing you picked it up.
You think?
Roll me a d3.
A d3, okay.
Roll the cursed d3.
I don't own a d3, so it's just good to be put in rolls. Two.
Mm-hmm. So, as you approach the tree, what do you say to it? Remember, you're 30 feet away from it at this point.
Excuse me, I noticed you seem to be emanating an energy as well as attempting to communicate.
You guys watch as the... Let me go first really quickly here. The Goron approaches, and then almost like a whistling wind and the sound of a summer breeze starts to whistle towards the tree.
I noticed you were trying to converse, and while my compatriots may not be able to understand you, I more than likely will be able to. So, what is it you wish to say?
Roll me a diplomacy check. I'm going to give you a +10 here. Because technically,
an extra
what you rolled
+10?
was, you rolled its attitude for me. It is friendly to you, technically.
awesomeness. Let's see. Diplomacy. What is my diplomacy? So with that extra plus 10, that is a 36.
I'm sorry, what? Okay.
With the extra plus 10 you gave me,
That
got
plus
like a-
what I rolled, plus my diplomacy, that
I
is
mean, you're a sorcerer,
36.
makes sense.
that
Yeah,
is
he's
a
got high
double
charisma.
critical success.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got high charisma, and I would assume at least trained proficiency in diplomacy.
Oh, sorry. It was
Excellent,
DC
actually.
20. That's a critical success, technically. So, as you say this towards it, everyone else just feels the wind blow when you hear the creaking of the leaves and the large branches that overshoot it. Because the tree continues up past the cloud cover that you guys are in, by the way, so you can't see the top of it. You hear... Actually, are you going to inform the others about what you hear afterwards, or no?
Mostly, it depends on what it said, really.
Okay, I'll keep it in here then. You swear you hear the winds and the creaks. A voice that's not feminine or male, speaking back to you. It has been ages. Welcome, kindred. You wish to know what I seek.
Indeed,
In
I
the-
do.
In the coming times of the zenith of creation.
I'm sorry. But give me a second. I need to turn you up. I can't hear.
He's talking about the beginning of the world.
Okay. I can hear you now.
In the coming time of the zenith of creation, there will be ripples. I am to absorb and lessen these ripples, oddities, magical and psychic, extremities, waves of energy. I do not wish for more than survival.
See. Is there any way perhaps we could assist you in what you wish, your survival? As I'm
Dark,
sure the energy is quite a bit.
dark forces wish to, and forces of light, mind you, wish to use this energy of the coming zenith to bolster their own means, while the agent of destruction wishes to allow these energies to affect the world without aid. He wishes naught but destruction. Stop his machinations.
I will do my best to do that, and I will see if these fine foes here are willing to do the same.
During this entire conversation of whistles and blowing wind, the other two, or other three, I should say, you investigator, you're the first to notice it because you're far behind watching this. You feel a hand on your shoulder. And as you look around Soup towards his hand, you see standing about 8 feet, hunched over a bit, staring down at you, with grayish skin that looks like it could disintegrate at any moment. Red, scarlet hair that falls behind his back, 2 yellow eyes. And the rest of the face you can't really make out detail as it changes and shifts. This individual staring down at you as he holds but a single black silk around his waist that turns into a toga around his body. Seemingly similar in appearance to the second prince of Tyrellian, though he's been missing for a while. This individual looks a bit different. As he touches you on the shoulder. Soup, you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
I want you to roll me a fortitude. Yeah, fortitude save, please.
Ah, great fortitude. Let's see. Do I explode? I have a plus 14 slash roll Dice
Is the
score.
music even playing anymore?
No.
So,
What the fuck?
Just the lovely sound of Ruby breathing into their
Silence.
mic.
I know, right?
26.
26.
It's not my fault my mic decided to become sensitive.
Kinda is, though.
It could barely pick anything up yesterday. Now it's so sensitive it can hear me breathing from over a foot away.
You rolled a what?
I rolled a 26 total. 12 plus 14.
Okay. Let me see how much power. So, you feel them touch your shoulder, and they just stare at you, and as they do, you feel this fear hit your body, and your body just paralyzes in place. It just stares at you. You feel you almost overcame this effect, just out of character. As he stares at you, you hear in your mind, "Stay here a while."
Oh shit, I rolled that with reflex. Fortitude is a plus 12. That makes it a 24, so I still fail.
"Stay here a while. You seem like the type that likes to watch." And you see him slowly go to take a step forward when he vanishes into dust. Ruby. Invert.
Yeah?
Your entire body has a shiver sent through it as the divine energy of your body, your prophecy's pawn, immediately regenerates. And you feel that divine energy warning you. As you feel a heavier divine presence, one you haven't felt since after the bandit camp. And you hear a bell, gung, as the chapel of Celis' bell rings, gung. As you almost freeze up for a second, you go to turn around. Elrond. Shadowy.
That's L sign.
Elsign. Sorry, I can't fucking remember your name. You don't feel anything, and then suddenly you feel something touching your back. Roll me a fortitude save.
Yep, okay. Ooh, let's get that. There we go.
Well, too late to
Right.
say what I was gonna do after hearing the bells start ringing.
Well, we'll go with that.
Only a 16.
16. This is all happening at once, by the way.
Yeah.
You critically fail.
Yeah.
Elsine, you fall to the ground. As you're about to turn around, invert, you sense the pulse of your elven friend slow down. Elsine, roll me another fortitude save. Because you critically failed that save.
Alright, that's a 18. I have a distinct feeling that's also a failure.
So
And I
critical.
probably...
So,
you're dead.
what is your constitution bonus?
I have a +3 con bonus. I have a distinct feeling I should
Alright.
use a hero point.
Use a hero point, please.
Alright, I'm just gonna re-roll that, just a little bit. God hates me.
What'd you roll?
That's 15.
So, you feel your pulse
Bro.
slowing as the blood in your body stops moving, and you feel your body's turning cold. You are dying. As your body cannot, all your organs are paralyzed.
Bruh, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die in 3 turns.
Oh shit.
Yo, does anyone
God.
else got any, no one, the guys
Ruby.
have something?
As you hear Elsine hit the ground, what are you doing? And the bell rings.
What's that?
The bell rings and you hear Elsine crumble to the ground. What are you doing?
I am immediately turning around. Well, finished turning around to see what
You see
had
what
made him
looks
collapse.
like similar to the prince that you've just killed recently of Tyrellian, but standing at 7 feet tall. And as you look at him, you blink. 9 feet tall. And you feel this heavy sense of divinity flowing off of him. As you see him take his hand away from where L sign was, and you hear L sign's heartbeat slowing. You feel your own heartbeat shooting fast.
Yep. I am going to...
Roll me a will save, please.
What was that? Roll
me a
what?
will save. Will save.
Give me a minute. Hey. Contacts outside. Sorry, what was that? Dog was
Roll me
being
a
a
will
bitch.
save. Jesus.
Dog was being a bitch and dragging me along.
That's what
Literally.
a dog is.
We're not gonna use
No,
will
he
save.
isn't. Rolls. Why am I blind? There we are. Exclamation mark guy. 1d20 plus. Oh. Nearly fat fingered it. 17.
Alright. It's not a critical fail. You are frightened 5 of this creature.
Damn.
That's 2
So that
by the way,
means-
so you could have gotten frightened 16.
Tex, come on.
As you turn around, everything is starting to turn dark around you. But what are you doing?
What does frightened do again?
It reduces your chance to hit, I believe.
It reduces
Your
a
chance
lot
to
of
hit, your AC,
Yeah.
basically your DCs, and your checks.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case... Ow. I'm literally being dragged around the yard. Give me a sec.
Jesus Christ, man.
I am weak in real life, you know?
The only one who's able to do shit, and you're fucking doing other shit right now.
I don't know.
Yeah!
I'm free all day.
Because my sister was fucking bitching. And this is her dog. Anyways, I am going to... grab L sign, shout, "We have company!" As I'll just sling him over my shoulder and then run.
The only way to run is backwards, which you have about 20 feet before you get to the edge of the city. Well, the edge of the center of the city. There's also the bridge to the Noble District, of course, but that's heavily guarded at the moment. And at the moment, it feels like your vision is slowly turning dark. As you grab L sign and sling him over your shoulder and go to yell run, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Roll me a fortitude save.
Okay, I am good with those.
You have a -5 to this.
Yeah, don't forget that.
20 plus 7. Rerolling that.
Okay, prophecy's pawn.
Yep. It's a
Ooh.
15.
Use a hero point if you want, if you need to, please. No, you don't. Roll me. This is now roll me a fortitude save, please.
Another fortitude save.
With the -5,
Yes.
technically, yes.
That was with -5.
This is again with
He's-
-5. Yes, you're frightened of this creature.
Yes. You're frightened, and now he's asking you to roll to see if your lungs stop.
Use a hero point,
God.
please.
I was.
Alright, guys, I think I have an idea of what I need to do.
Oh my
Ah,
god!
I told you I'm not gonna get many good rolls this time. I could tell you that from the beginning. That's all my hero points and Prophecy's Pawn used.
I gave him my hero point.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wish me luck, guys.
If you want, you can roll with Dice Golem instead of Avery, because Avery's screwing everyone over right now.
Yeah, it is.
All right,
That's why
what's
I'm using
the-
my own
what's the-
dice.
Dice Golem is /roll instead of !R.
That's probably a good idea.
Bro, CJ's like, what the fuck's going on?
Alright, I nearly rolled with Montaro.
I mean, we haven't used Montaro in a while. Maybe Montaro has decided to come out of dice prison.
Montaro isn't a dice bot, though, but it can be used, I guess.
Bruh.
Let me see. If you do use that, oh, okay. 17?
And yeah, hold on.
Let's not use Montaro,
that?
please. It's weird.
Why does it not add the thing?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, so that's 24 if it were to.
Okay, 24.
That's not bad.
That is a success. You needed a 19. So, you feel your entire heart just stop beating for a second as you feel your body paralyze and you fall to the ground. As you look up, you watch as this figure turns to dust and appears 5 feet behind the Goron, who still is talking to the tree and just looks down at her. V, let's go back to you.
Luckily, I did shout.
Yeah.
We got company. Run.
Goron, you hear the bell. You hear someone fall, and as you're speaking to the tree, you hear, "You got company! Run!" What do you do?
Well, first of all, I'm going to turn around to figure out what the fuck's going on.
You turn around and you see this large silk piece of black just in front of you, flowing in the wind. And you look up and you see this figure. He stares down at you, and the face, which seems to be moving in and out of its actual proportions, you see the flesh move in and out. You see a smile appear in the darkness of his face. And he reaches down with his left hand. And unlike the others who he just puts it on, you see this magical energy of darkened color starting to reach down towards you.
Well, I'm going to try to get out of the way and run the hell out of Dodge.
Roll me an
Fuck this
acrobatics
dude.
check, please. Or athletics, because he's trying to grapple you, technically.
Wait, that was an option?
Nope. This is a different
Oh.
attack.
Yeah, fair.
Let's see, acrobatics or athletics, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Fuck him.
Alright.
He rolled a 31, but he rolled a 4 on the dice.
I hope you understand that the only way for me to save is a natural 20.
And that doesn't matter against contested rolls like this.
Well, then it doesn't fucking matter because I fail.
Alright.
The most I can get is a 26.
So,
But what I got was a fucking 18.
So, as he goes to grab you, he manages to grab on your arm as you try to dodge out of the way, and he pulls you up and just stares at you in the face. Roll me a will save, please.
It doesn't 20s in Pathfinder just give you a degree of success more?
Yes, that is what a natural 20 does. It increases your success by 1 step. The same thing applies to a nat 1, but it goes in the opposite direction.
You said a will save?
Yes.
Alright. Natural 20 for 33.
You look at this guy in the eye, and he looks at you in the eye. And in your head, you hear, "Interesting."
I apologize, but I can't say I know who you are off the top of my head.
Not many do. But a plant such as you can figure it out. I am nobody. I am the end and the beginning, life and death. I am the one who decides this world's fate. You are but a sapling in the ocean.
Is he the one who knocks?
What?
Is
You
he
see
the
him
doctor
look-
who's
you
still on
see him-
hand?
Man literally said sapling in the ocean.
You see him look over to the left for a second as he says what, as he's like trying to think about what the fuck just happened and you didn't hear anything. He seems distracted at the moment. What are you doing?
Well, I would try to escape his grip, even if I have to cut off my fucking arm.
Alright,
I
roll
could
me,
just grow another one eventually.
roll me an athletics or acrobatics check to try and break out.
I failed.
Do you want to break off your arm?
I'm going to use a hero point.
Okay.
What does a 16 get me?
That's still a critical fail.
Well, before I do this, just figure I'll ask this because, if I'm wrong, I kind of fuck myself over.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I can grow my arm back, yes?
I'll allow
Since
it,
I
yeah.
am technically a plant.
I'll allow it, yeah. It'll take about a long rest to attempt it, yes.
Oh, that's actually a lot better than I thought it would be. So yeah, I am going to utilize another one of my ancestral feats in order to do this. Hidden Thorn, which gives me an unarmed attack that counts as a knife.
Alright. So as you take your left arm, it turns into a thorn, and you go for your right hand, or your right arm.
Yeah, the one he's grabbing.
You go
to cut
for
it
it.
off.
And as you go for it, make a strike against yourself.
Let's see, I have a plus 11 on this. Okay. I hit.
Alright. You manage to hit your arm, and as you do, you manage to cut through it and pull your arm back, and as you see your thorn-like hand accidentally scratches against this guy's arm, and as it does, you see his arm turns to dust where it hits.
Slightly cursed myself because now I'm realizing I could have just cut off his arm.
He seems to turn
No
back
matter.
to you as you fall down to the ground, and you hear the wind once more. Run.
That was the plan. As I'm gonna begin running.
As you begin to run, you run and you turn around just for a second to look, and you see the tree starts to shine with a dull greenish pink color. What languages do you all speak?
If it's saying something in Sylvan, I think I believe I know Sylvan.
I
Hang on.
speak
It's
Common, Draconic, Elven, and Sylvan.
So,
Common, Elven, Kitsune, Orcish, and Sylvan.
does anybody speak Celestial?
No.
No. I would
No.
not have a reason to know Celestial.
You hear this
I didn't think to grab that.
darkened angelic chorus coming from the man. I don't know. I'm just saying random shit. As he starts to speak, you see the tree, multiple branches shoot out of it, and as they do, turn towards him as thorns start to pierce towards him. As they do, thorns pierce through his body, and you see parts of his body turn to dust. As the thorns shoot through him, one of them comes towards you, Kitsune, as you're on the ground, and you see the thorn as it gets right next to you, disintegrates. And you hear in common, "Oh, I'll be back for you on the solstice, young one." And he turns towards you, Kitsune, and he goes, "Oh, interesting. You're the one who slayed my guide, were you not?"
I don't think the Kitsune can realistically talk you to being
Ruby?
paralyzed.
Ruby?
Paralyzed means they can talk stutteringly, but she just that goes.
Well, his guide surely is a great one after all. You did good. You taught him. What the fuck, music bot? Bro, what the fuck do you mean pausing because of no listeners?
Yeah, it's a small glitch. That happens a lot.
How can a small glitch happen a lot?
It's small and inconvenient, but
So-
doesn't have any real big repercussions.
So, he goes, "You've taught him a bit of humility. I'll give you that. However, I still must have my pound of flesh. Choose. Your eye or one of your limbs." or I could decide to take your tail.
I'm already missing an eye.
In
Did it
fact-
not get replaced?
No, it did not. In fact,
What health am I at?
you took your long rest, so you should have your extra health added. He looks down at you. I would prefer the tail. I'll leave the choice to you. By the way, at this point, he's speaking in the prince's voice.
Well, by limb, do you mean the entire arm, from the elbow on the hand?
From the shoulder or the hip? Or the fifth limb you have, from the base of the neck.
Not the one I thought for some reason.
Fact, your neck actually does realistically count as a limb.
I know, but you understand what I was thinking.
Yes, I know. That doesn't count as a limb. That counts as a tail.
So,
I
the remaining eye, which will help you see and make sure you cannot be killed as easily. One of your limbs, which you use in your average day. Or your connection to divinity, your tail. Personally, I believe it is justice for your tail.
I'm fine with losing my arm, as I motion my left arm forward.
Good girl. And he appears right directly in front of you. You won't be getting this back, as he touches it with his left arm. Your entire left arm just disintegrates. And you feel this searing pain in your left shoulder. As you look down, you see this blackened sigil upon your shoulder, which seems like a tattoo of a spider. Just on there. And as you look down, you can still move your shoulder around, but there's no, like, cut where you can see the inside flesh of it. It's just skin left.
As if it's
been
long since
Yeah.
long since been amputated.
Well,
Motherfucker really just went into character creator and removed their arm.
he did.
God.
It's been a pleasure. Tell your mother I said hi. And he disappears. At this point, everyone who's paralyzed, aside from Shadowy, feels the paralytic force let up. Shadowy, you eventually feel it let up and your heart begins to beat again. Roll me a fortitude save.
Alright. Wait, nope. I'm doing this. Alright. Alright. Yeah, sorry, I'm just, yeah, it's just, this is less convenient. Okay.
Imagine if I had missed my arm, though.
Bruh.
Nope. Fuck this shit. I'm using a hero point.
Bro, what the fuck? Roll with something else.
I rolled with Dice Golem. It is
Well,
something
no,
else.
15 is
God
a success if you want to keep it.
Oh, in that case, I'll keep it.
He
Oh.
managed to just barely, 15 was the DC, get your heart beating again.
Alright, everyone who sees Elstein sees that he is seething with rage.
You also see his eyes are now, like the whites of his eyes are red as hell.
So, am I still nearby, or did I get the hell out of Dodge way out of there?
Oh, you're running past the investigators, you see him standing up. The strange dark humanoid in like a trench coat.
Yeah, I would assume my stealth is broken now because,
yeah.
Get knocked out.
Yeah.
As as I see the investigator, I'm going to stop. Were you watching us?
Less talk, more run.
He is gone now. Actually, I'm gonna look back, see that he's gone. He appears to be gone now.
Petra, what the hell were you doing?
You see
Like-
the branches that shot out of the tree go back into it.
Thanks
No.
to our tree friend over there, that is.
Oh, can you explain to me what the fuck just happened? In fact, actually, invert that strange dusty man who took the visage of the second prince seemed to have seemed to know you. Would you mind explaining that as well?
Well, as far as I know, there's a... how should I put this? There's an evil being of divine origin attempting to use the solstice for one reason or another, and is using the princes as tools to achieve it.
You see Alcine sort of pinch his nose, and it shifts more into a facepalm. And he starts chuckling. You're telling me I've gotten to the plot of a evil god? Just from
Yes.
searching for Tatriel, I've got into this. Of course.
Yep.
Of course with my luck.
Also, now that, like I said, I've looked back, seen that he's gone, and, asked the investigator if he was watching us. No matter.
Yes, I was.
Well, you know whatever. I am not going to inquire further. I need to make sure that they are all right.
You may as well. I am not a doctor.
I am.
Doctor!
So we know, do we
Why
know
I am
Vander at this point?
No.
I see.
So I am going to head back over. Are you two all right?
Relatively. Well, I was on the verge of death.
Hold on, let me intervene here.
Yeah.
I need to go soon, so what I'm gonna do here is end it up here. So, as the group convenes after strange being told by the bell dismantled your party in a matter of seconds, after some revelations were had, the group thinks for but a second as our camera pans out and upwards as the Aurora Borealis, this beautiful light show in the sky, continues to shift in color, and stars that should not be visible right now begin to appear. We watch as the floating city of Tirok disappears beneath the large, expansive canopy of this tree above in the atmosphere. Our vision shoots back down to Tirok for but a second, another place. As we watch individuals garbed in the syndicate clothing, as well as individuals garbed in the Shadow Walkers clothing, people that you've met already, stand around a magic circle as 7 hearts, still beating, are placed within by a mage of darkened color. You hear a chanting, and the circle glows an infernal red as a being ascends out of the circle, standing 15, 20 feet tall, hunched over with deep blackened red skin. It smiles with a deep grunt. And that's where we're going to end this session.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
That was